Good evening, one and all. It's Sunday, it's the end of the week, and it's time that we start talking about what the hell happened yesterday. Oh yes, let's bring it back to Warframe. Hello everyone, welcome on in once again. Hope you're doing well where you are around the world today. Ay, 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 ay. My oh my, did they reveal a whole lot. A truly mind-boggling amount during all of the TennoCon panels yesterday. The reveals as to just how tight to the line on some deadlines they are with some of the story beats, and how how Jade's own story was added into the to Teshin's Cave so late into the cycle of development, which is kind of wild to think about. The reveals of not just how we know there are unreliable narrators, but then what seems to be further evidence of that, given the history, supposed corrupted memories we are seeing. It's hard to kind of process all of that. And as Ray's saying, and something I was involved with as well, yeah? Yes! Something I was involved with as well. Absolutely. Let me bring up that post, in fact. If I just do a quick... because I made a command to make this easier to click on. There we go. Should have had that open already. Yeah, how do they put it? This collaboration features cover and intro page artwork by Sylvia Barrera Pedregal. I'm completely screwing it up, but Bregan. And an introduction by the Kengineer. Yes, indeed. Have I watched TennoCon set up by now? I've had a look at bits of it, and to be honest, I feel like that's kind of thing that I would only really appreciate if I'm there. Yeah. I'd have to be there to appreciate it fully. Ray asking, am I still under NDA, or can I share how the whole background occurred to bring me in on this? I am still under NDA to an extent. The biggest thing I can tell you about the project itself is, yes, I'm involved. And to the extent of, as it says in the post there, introduction by me. The details as to what that actually entails, what's in the rest of the packet, everything else, I can't say, because anything that I do say on that side would reveal details that I am not authorized to be the revealer of. It's as simple as that. But for those who don't know what Starfinder is, I can absolutely bring you up to more speed on that. For those of you wondering as to when this is coming out, what it says in the post there, that is October, so you can definitely be looking forward to that. And for anyone who was wondering, Ken, why have you not been saying so much about your D&D project? Why have you not been doing this, that, the other? Well, maybe this gives you at least an inkling as an idea. Speculate all you damn well please, I won't answer your speculations. But this gives you an inkling as an idea as to why I may have made certain decisions. So yeah. Am I allowed to say when they contacted me about this? I won't say specifically, but this is something I've had to keep secret for a while, yes. Something like this doesn't just happen in a week. It absolutely does not happen in a week, so... Again, I won't give you exact time frame, but think on the order of months. How many months? Speculate in your mind. But it's a long time for me to be absolutely stum about every last detail of it, deflecting as hard as I can anything that came even remotely close to the questions that I can't answer. Ray asking, also some folks on D&D server asking, is it Pathfinder 1E or 2U accessible? So with regards to Starfinder in general, I believe that Starfinder 2nd edition is due out at the end of this month. Double check on the exact timings on that, but I believe that is the due date on Starfinder 2nd edition. My understanding then is that everything within the Warframe Starfinder crossover is supposed to be 2nd edition as well. I mean, just look at the logo. And therefore, because of the way that Starfinder 2nd edition is made, it should be somewhat, if not entirely compatible with Pathfinder 2nd edition stuff as well. But again, that I don't really know too much about. That kind of cross-compatibility is squarely on Paizo's side of understanding. I'd recommend you definitely check out their website, their details with regards to that. But the main thing to take away is that the logo, as far as I'm seeing here, that's lining up as Starfinder 2nd edition, so anything on that circuit should apply as well. Emphasis should. That's my understanding. That's not drawn from official information. As I say, friends getting stuff into official material, both for Python and Wizards Goes. Never felt so hard. Yeah, fair enough. Honestly, just celebrating happy successes wherever they happen, yeah. Looking forward to the Operator rework? Oh yeah, absolutely. I am looking forward to seeing what expansion of the focus schools we are going to see. That'll be great. Thank you, Oak. Much appreciated. Who knows where things may go from there? Absolutely. So, I now have an involvement with Paizo, an involvement with Warframe connected to that, as well as just being a Warframe creator. The full extent as to how those kind of things interact, you'll just have to see, because I can't tell you right now. But yeah. Is Starfinder a TTRPG system separate to D&D? Yes, Cosmo. So, to give it a bit of background, to properly explain a bit of background, most people will have heard of Dungeons & Dragons at this point. It's a simple fact that in a TTRPG spaces, that's tabletop role-playing games, Dungeons & Dragons has kind of won, not one in general, one in terms of the cultural impact. Even if you've never played it, you'll have heard of it in various places. You'll have seen the movie that came out. You may have seen references to it in, what's it called? Stranger Things. It's hard to miss it. So if someone says Dungeons & Dragons, you have a good idea the kind of thing they're on about, even if you've never played it. Pathfinder spawned off from an earlier version of Dungeons & Dragons. The simple way of putting it is that the nerds who loved it but wanted to see it better went and made their own better version. And that was Pathfinder 1st edition. Pathfinder 2nd edition was a massive iteration on top of that. A huge improvement on the Pathfinder system and really bringing it into its own. And that Pathfinder 2nd edition, in fact, is the big book I have there next to Eldritch Horror. I think my microphone is slightly blocking that view, unfortunately. And then Starfinder is Pathfinder in space. So, we're a couple steps removed from what you may be culturally aware of with regards to Dungeons & Dragons, but it is its own TTRPG. In terms of Pathfinder, a lot of similarities in terms of theme will be there, but it's still its own standalone game. And then Starfinder is, let's just take that to space. Just take it straight to space. There are going to be plenty of differences in how games play, what the rules are, what the focuses of the mechanics are. That's natural between any game. Yeah, if you try comparing, say, if you try comparing Warframe to World of Warcraft, there are enough similarities that a layman would go, yeah, those are two video games, multiplayer video games. But when you get into the nitty-gritty details, you realise just how different they truly are. And that would be the kind of distinction between, say, Dungeons & Dragons and Starfinder. Including, as well, the number of people that know World of Warcraft versus know Warframe. In layman's awareness, that is. So, yeah. Yeah, Varuna is a very powerful frame. Absolutely, Pumpkin. Absolutely. But yes, I am very happy to finally be able to at least mention, talk about the very top level of that stuff, and I cannot wait for the release, the full release of it, for you guys to get your hands on what's going on there. I really cannot wait for you to know all the details, how it all comes together, and to just enjoy it, quite honestly. Like, detail aside, it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to the full details as well. Because, of course, it's a large project. I don't know everything. Can't know everything. The Master's saying, play Baldur's Gate 3, and for that heard, it's the closest there is in game form D&D. Yes. So in terms of video games emulating D&D, or at least being based on the structure of D&D, Baldur's Gate 3 is as close as you're going to get. It is still a video game, which means it has certain video game-esque, what's the words? Not so much mechanics as just leanings, biases, and inherent effects on the way the game plays out. Certain positives, certain negatives, certain just differences. Tropes, that might be a better word, yeah. So there'll be certain aspects to it there which are much more video game rather than strictly tabletop role-playing game. One of the big things I'm told with regards to Baldur's Gate 3, because I've not actually played the game myself yet, but one of the big things to Baldur's Gate 3 is that it's very much centered around the host, and if you were doing a multiplayer game, it's kind of hard to get the full TTRPG experience as a group because of that host focus. Whereas in your own table of role-playing game with a DM and a bunch of players, and whatever scale of just sheer table setting you bring, whether you have all the rulebooks and all the character sheets and all battle mats and minis and everything, or if you're just a bunch of nerds gathered around and rolling the dice when you think is appropriate, wherever you are on that scale, it is very much your own game at that point. Absolutely. So yeah. Alright, first things first that I want to do here is not forget to do these, actually. I definitely want to pick up that Humble Former. Let me switch this to solo. We don't need any random else in there. Let's just go bash this one out. Oh, wait, companion. The companion is always useful to have.
Hello there equals D.
Meriadec, thank you very much for subscribing up onto 21 months there. Much appreciated. And hello to you as well. Hope you're doing well there, Meriadec. Hope you're doing well. BG3 has a lot of assumptions want you to follow the plot. Yeah, because a video game can't adapt infinitely in the same way that a DM can. Yeah. They have to code in what can happen to your actions. And that's just a limit. It's, I'd say for a TTRPG, truly you can do anything. But as a group, you still kind of want to do the something that is prepared for you and around you. So as much as you can see a road going left, a road going right, and decide to take the road going in a third unspoken direction, you definitely still need to give your game master the opportunity to, you know, actually prepare that other direction. That was a really loud cry from that guy. Really loud. Yeah. Let's just drop ourselves in here. I'm going to just take this... not quite like that. Nice and casual. Was that the music last? No, it was still just loud. It was still just loud. I hope we might see some Starfinder CRPGs. Maybe. I can't say anything on that. Hardest part of switching stuff like Pathfinder is throwing out all your D&D assumptions. True, and it does go both ways. Because there are certain similarities between the games, it's easy to accidentally remember one rule over the other. But that's just like with video games as well. It's very easy to, say for example, you try to bullet jump in another shooter, and then you go, oh wait, yeah, no, bullet jump doesn't work here. Yeah. Amir was not spoiling this, no. These definitely sound loud. What's going on here? I don't remember dialogue volume being up there again. But I don't think that's what causes that. Hold on, let me find another, see if that was that. Well, I need a humanoid one. Not sure. Not sure. Pat Wigdon saying the way to compare a TTRPG and video game is to say a video game is a specialized machine, TTRPG is a human. Sure. Sure. The biggest freedom in a... Bruh. Okay. I'll go the other way then. The biggest freedom in tabletop gaming is very much in comparison to what you can't do in a video game. Like, right now, I can't convince this guy to let me through. I can't really do much of anything other than just stay out of sight, or shoot him. There's just no interaction possible. I can't grab one of these and chuck it down at him. I can't use that to distract him. Any of those kinds of weird alternative interactions. In fact, spy missions are about as advanced as we can get in this game for allowing you to think your way through it. In a tabletop setting, you're only restricted by the imagination of your table. That is the entire limit. So if your table can come up with some weird and wonderful alternative, certainly if it's something that your game master didn't see coming, go for it. Just try not to make it about how weird it is, try to make it about how much it makes for a good game. Yeah. How are we digesting TennoCon? Like a fine meal. Happy Hour say worse is having a player not want to participate and go off and do their own thing all the time. True, and that's easy to fix. That is actually really easy to fix. It's just, it requires you to be very assertive as a game master. There are plenty of people who will hear infinite opportunities and selfishly take that to mean infinite opportunities for them to do what they want. The very simple fix to that is to go, well, the party is going this way. If you decide to go off on your own, cool. You're off on your own, you're doing your own thing, but we're not focused on that story. So, you could sit there whilst the rest of the table actually plays the game we're here to play. It might sound harsh, but that is the harshness that sometimes people do need to hear. You don't start with that harsh, you know, work with them, but some people do need to be told outright, that's what's happening. We're here for a particular game. If you're not here for it, why are you here? You need to make it clear, it is a group game, and there is a certain level of understanding between the players and Game Master that the players can't just ignore what is clearly the hook. Like, imagine you loaded into a spy mission. Lotus is giving you the mission to crack the spy vaults, but you actually go to Lotus. Actually, I'm not really here for that. I was just wanting to go, you know, open up a couple lockers and exit. Let's just go, no. No, what the fuck are you doing here? Give me a tenner who will do the mission. They are. Part of it as a game master is keeping people on board with what's going on. Making sure there's plenty for them to actually engage. You don't want to railroad them. They want to be able to play and interact with the world for themselves. But likewise for the players, need to understand you're not the only one at the table. It's a game for everyone. It's not being served to you. And it's like the banker in a game of Monopoly is also a player who just happens to have the role of banker. You wouldn't treat them like they're an NPC just running the game for you. They're not the dealer at a casino. They're your friend playing with you. Hello, Unknown Error Zero. Welcome in. Hello to Dencio. Right, saying for me, the purpose of the table is to tell a story together. That's one of the purposes. One of them. Main purpose is has fun. If you're having fun as a group, everyone's having fun, you're good. And part of making sure that fun can happen is making sure the group is on the same page as to how it's supposed to work. Absolutely. Because some people, they just want a hack and slash. That's fine. And if a DM wants to DM a hack and slash, that's fine. Others want political intrigue. Others want to set up weird and wonderful trade routes and coerce goblins into becoming Santa's little elves. But it's actually the paladin's little goblins or something like that. Sure, why not? But those groups are full of different people looking for different things, or maybe the same people looking for different things at different times. If you get someone wanting to just hack and slash in a political intrigue game, then you're going to run into problems. And that's where you need to have that understanding that you're there together. 100%. Am I having issues with context, or am I new to the world of Four Eyes? That's new to the world of Four Eyes. I started wearing glasses a couple weeks ago because it turns out that I need them, and now I'm just going to continue using them. To be honest, I don't have any intention of going for contacts, especially because of the nature of the correction my eyes require. I understand that they would be more obtrusive than I would otherwise be happy with. So yeah. What's up, you nerdy chat, Freddy? Cheers, alright, how about you? Let's grab this as well, Bubble Defense. Why not? It's why Session 0 is important? Absolutely. And it's why Session 0 can be repeated as well. You don't need to put it on a schedule, but making sure that expectations continue to be aligned is also a very smart thing to do. And don't force it. If you as a DM are not enjoying what's going on, well, it's not your job, it's your hobby. So you want to make sure that you're enjoying it and understand why you are or are not enjoying it. Likewise for the players. You don't want anyone to feel compelled to be stuck into it. This is part of why I advocate for having more than a minimum number of players, because then if one person drops out or just isn't available, you're not screwed. It doesn't compel people to stick around just to try and make others happy. Yeah. Don't think I've ever asked what's my go-to frame? Lavos. We are Lavos mains here. If you are not a Lavos main, that is fine, but we are Lavos mains here. There isn't a cult, because a cult would indicate a level of blind faith, a level of dissociation with reality. There is no dissociation required here. Lavos is fucking good. In case anyone was unclear on that. Excited about the new skin? Yes! Lab coat! Absolutely. Hells yeah. Hells yeah. Didn't have that on my bingo card, because I didn't have a bingo card, primarily, but yes. All for it. Honey Angel say, I'm a player, having a problem with those lines table menu. One other player keeps pushing for combat and dungeon crawling. We've been neglecting roleplay because of that. Like, that does get in the way sometimes. So, again, it's partly finding a balance, partly finding an understanding as to the kind of game being played. If someone is pushing for something, they clearly want it. Then comes the question, well, is that what the DM has prepared? Is that what the DM wants to run? Is that something that fits into the story the DMs both put together and the players have chosen to run by agreeing to it? And are the other players interested in that kind of content as well? Sometimes it's worth splitting into doing two groups. You do one thing one week, one thing the other week. Sometimes it's worth just splitting the actual group into doing other bits and pieces as well. Or maybe you could just come to an understanding, a new balance. And then Green Apple Kiwi comes in the middle of all that with the 10 gifted subs. Green Apple Kiwi of the 20 variety. Thank you very, very much for that. That is a huge gift right there. Once we're out of this mission, we'll pray proper thanks to that, but that is a whole lot of support on the channel here. Anyone who's received one of those subs, make sure you say thank you for that, because that is huge. And the hydrate as well. You absolutely can have a hydrate. Cheers. Yeah, it's curious when you think about it. When it comes to tabletop gaming, the biggest aspect of it, and I do mean the biggest aspect of it, is social interaction. It is playing a game, a collaborative game with other players who may not have, certainly won't have the exact same goals as you, and how aligned those goals are will vary. It is such an important social consideration, and yet it is a game which stereotypically is played by asocial nerds. Go figure. But it doesn't mean you need to be asocial about it, and it doesn't mean you need to put up with people who are antisocial about it. Know your limits, know the limits of your players around you, and work within those limits where it is fair and reasonable to do so. Where it stops being fair and fun, don't ruin it for yourself or others. Hornet Angel saying, due to the scenario, I think everyone expected that combat would be a big part of the game. No one but that specific player is neglecting role-playing, pushing, dungeon crawling constantly. Okay. So it sounds like you've got someone there who isn't interested in the social side of being an adventurer. They're not into the intrigue. They are there to swing and sword and screw shit up. Okay. Sometimes the better, sometimes the worse. That can work. It's the player needs to acknowledge that not everything is going to go their way. There are going to be moments of downtime from what they enjoy because it's a group game. It would be best if they could try to find a way to be involved in that, and a discussion could be found to see what could they enjoy in it, or maybe they just don't enjoy that side of things. And then understanding is, okay, well, this is going to be happening for the next half an hour. Feel free to zone out, mate. That kind of thing can work for people as well. Here into D&D talk to tabletop talk. Not strictly D&D, but D&D is one of the tabletops out there, yes. What do I use for my Lavos? Exclamation mark Lavos. That'll give you how I keep him alive and all the other bits and pieces as well. He is more than just a single mod.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Oh, sweet. Catalyst and Reactor. I thought it was just one of them. Clearly I was blind. Derpy Dude saying, their partner slash GM and a player complain about there being nothing to do in a game, but the players are meant to be the ones that make shit happen. It's a bit of both. It can very much be a bit of both. So, I'm not saying this one way or the other. I'm more just kind of framing the topic so no one gets the idea of adversarial nature to it. It is certainly both, because it's very easy for a DM or GM to create a table situation which is unengageable. To give a trite example, let's say we have a game that's set up to be a dungeon crawl slash political intrigue. We've got both pillars involved. The party are in town at the moment. The party have various ideas about what they can do. They have this idea that there might be a quest giver, and so one of the members, they go, okay, well, can we find the quest giver? Oh, they're not in the office. Okay, do we know where they're at? You don't know where they're at. Can I speak to the guard? There isn't a guard. A clerk? We'll speak to the clerk. What can the clerk tell us? Sorry, it's private. And the player starts to feel stonewalled. They're like, what can I actually do here, please? What do you want from me, Game Master? I'm trying to find things to do and you're not giving me things. And then they start detailing things about a shopping trip and walking through the market and over-describing the spice stalls. You're wondering, is this turning into visiting Stardew Valley? Where's the adventure? And that definitely can happen. So, I'm not saying it's what's happened at your table, but it's more a general thing. It is a trap that can be fallen into where players can feel like there is nothing they can engage with. And after just a couple moments of their attempts to engage failing, a player will zone out. Just, alright. There's probably something more interesting on Tinder. Nope, that's another bot. Okay. Still probably more interesting. So yeah, definitely something to watch out for. And I speak a lot from past experience on all this. As player, as DM, as victim and perpetrator of issues. I am speaking from the heart and from mistakes I have made. And mistakes I've seen others make as well. Debbie saying this is during a final boss arc, by the way. Also, some players just can't be satisfied. I did kick a player out of a group entirely after we had a somewhat emergency one-shot due to half the group not being available. So it's myself and 2 players. We're doing a one-shot. It was one thing I did to keep groups running. On a week where most people, or just too many people, are unavailable, we could still do something else that would kind of be like a slice of a story from another part of the world, maybe another part of the time. We had our setup, we had our backup characters for this kind of interesting experience. The person chose a barbarian, and if I roughly quote, after some things had not gone the way they wanted to, like, fine, I make a mundane swing with my mundane sword and deal mundane damage. I'm sorry, did I not allow you to rule of cool your way into decapitating 20 things at once. Because there are certain limits to your rule set. Because it's still a game, and you played the game. When you get a player that is reaching that level of antagonistic, who doesn't want to engage with the game on the game's level, and instead wants to be the cool superhero, even in a one-shot moment, okay. Don't make this suck for me. Some people want Power Fantasy. There's Power Fantasy. And then there is... this person was clamoring for benefits in every single action they described. They wanted to be able to flavor something, and that the flavor would make them better. As if a player's narrative capability should be how much damage they dealt. As Rad to say, main character syndrome, definitely a part of that. But more... It was not so much main character as just, they wanted to describe doing things like running up over the boxes, jumping over to the other side of them, like, yep, this is all fine. This is how far you can run. You can jump. Yep, that's fine so far. Okay, because I'm jumping over them, I'm going to drag my sword through 3 of them. They don't see it coming because I'm coming up from the boxes. I'm like, why don't they see you coming? Well, because I'm coming up from the boxes. Like, they can see you doing that. Yeah, but I'm coming up from the boxes. I'm going to drag my sword across them. It's going to hit them all in the head at the same time. You can try to hit a number of them based on the attacks you have. You can't just decide you're going to land more headshots. That's what the attack rolls are for. You can't just decide they can't see you coming. It's like, oh, fine, and just gave up entirely. Like, sorry, I'm not going to let you cheese an entire encounter by trying to describe yourself as just winning. Yeah. Do you have to get gun kills to activate muzzle flash, or do ability kills work? I'm not certain on that, sorry. I'm not certain. For me, when it comes to gameplay, I love it when people actually engage with the rules as they have it, and try to make those rules work in their favour, rather than trying to describe something else to ignore the rules. Use the game mechanics. They're not the limit. They're the challenge. Play the challenge. If someone's the kind of person to go, well, actually, my pawn turns on the spot, so we can attack straight up the file. It's like, well, that's not chess anymore. The pawn's going to attack diagonally, not forwards. You can't just say the pawn turns on the spot. The rule is it can attack diagonally. That's there for a reason. But yeah. Porfin, it's going well. Talking a bit of tabletop, whilst also I've cleaned out the couple of alerts there. So let's go see what Barra's got for me. Let's go to 70. Better than 69. Is there a good way to get rifle river mods? Yes, trade for them. That is the only consistent way you can get rifle-specific river mods. You trade for them. Barbarians amongst the mutually exclusive alignment restrictions, that's ancient editions with that kind of thing, yeah. If you're talking at least D&D 5th edition, no such restriction. Did you arrive after the free giveaway today? Nope, I didn't start up the new one. I do apologise. Let me sort that right now. I forgot to set the new one of those going. I need to make sure I actually have that on my setup sheet, because I have a sheet for things I need to set up when I start a stream. Evidently I did not put that on there, because otherwise I'd have remembered. There we go. Let me say, it's over. I've depicted you as the soy jack and myself in the chat type situation. Yeah. Yeah, that can sometimes definitely happen, can't it? WD say, got a funny one for you. DM side playing recently decided it'd be a good idea to let the monk barbarians stack an armored defense. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Ray, it's not about having the same name or anything logical. There was no logic involved in it. A person decided to stack them. And that's that. It's not about logic. It's about just bad. Also, Jade quoting, alright, roll an athletics check to see if you can perform a single attack in this move. I mean, nah. If the person wanted to run up the boxes, jump over a target, and use that to make their attack, sure, why not? They're jumping over them, they're avoiding the lineup of goblins or whatever they were facing in a different way, they're able to get a different vantage point, that kind of thing, sure. Absolutely. Because I want to explain the hype bonus giveaway. There you go. Hype bonus giveaways allow you to win extra Warframe goodies when Big Moan support happen for every level hype train completed, or when the community spanner goal is met, an instant giveaway happens, and it's free to enter. You can win Omniformer bundles, 7-day boosters, Signa, Legendary Core, or more. And then there's details on that link there. It's basically support the channel, get free shit. And a lot of free shit hath been given away here. Also, XGen Dave, thank you very much for the 100 bits there. Much appreciated. Alright, so, Barrow has, everything. Just in case anyone was, out of the loop on that. This Barrow, the TennoCon Relay Barrow, given access to me by DE, has everything. My god, he has brought a lot over the years, hasn't he? Quite a bit. There we are. So with that in mind, let's have a look at the mods. Hide owned. There are a few I've not picked up here. Interesting. Prime Stabilizer for weapon recoil on rifles, weapon recoil on pistols, and then shotgun ammo, and I think I can see why I didn't pick up these. Yeah. Yeah. Did I gamble yet? I did do that. As soon as I heard that was available with the TennoCon Relay Barrow as well, I just immediately did it. Silly me on that. In case anyone's wondering what I got, I am also wondering, because it's not ticked. Let's see. Does that give me an indication? I think it might have been an Exless adapter. No. No, I think I got an Omniformer, actually. Now I think about it. I think I did get an Omniformer. Yeah. Yeah. I think I got that. Anywho, this is 1,300 ducats worth of stuff to purchase, and I have 25. Let's burn some things. Let's burn some things. Now, I don't want to burn up things which are valuable. In terms of plat value. Which would make this a little bit more interesting. You know what? I might need to use a Ducanator for this. I'm gonna load up a Ducanator. So let me tab out for a moment. Let's close and reopen this with a Ducanator online via a Warframe. So if you get rid of everything, yeah, nah. One, I'd end up with far too many ducats. I would have enough ducats to buy all of Barrow's stock of everything non-cosmetic about twice over, and I don't want to do that. I just want to buy a few specific items. So let me just find where I set the thing for it. Warframe, there we go. Get the cosmetics. I have enough cosmetics. I'm satisfied. I do not need more, thank you. I did ask for voucher easy sells. You mean easy sell for plat or easy sell for ducats? Alright, let's make sure this fully loads up. Come on. I know my poor computer is running so many programs. There we go. Okay, minimize out of that. Now let's get back into the game. Need a solution, just sell a couple Burstons, Brattons, and Broncos. I think I already did that. I think I already did all those. Oh, excuse me, that came out of nowhere. Oh, yikes. That just got me good. Cheers, Ray. Cheers over me. Okay. Loading in. Did that yesterday as well? Cold brewing? Nah, not cold brewing. Honestly, I think it's just the bright lights. They occasionally get me. Because in case anyone's wondering, you don't get a picture as evenly lit, as mostly evenly lit as this, without appropriate lighting. If I turn off those, you see just how much darker and amber I look. So in order for it to work, I have the constant side lighting. And that constant side lighting sometimes will just catch my sight the wrong way, and I'm a photic sneezer. So there's that. Sometimes it just catches me. Alright, let's get back into this. Come on, load up Warframe. There it is. Although, I think I need to actually switch to... Yeah. Because I'm not going to use the Ducanator on screen. I don't need to. I've got it on my second screen. Let's go back to Barrow. And whilst that loads in, let me grab the thing for this. Ducanator. And do not list the things I have orders placed for. Let's see. Maybe I want to do this by set. That's not going to work either. I'll do it by parts then. And let's filter down to primes. There we go. Alright, yeah. I got the Ducanator up and working now. Sorted. The specs command is just specs. I don't know how people are still trying to click it and getting it wrong, but it is just specs. Oh, we can't teleport to Barrow on this relay. Incidentally, specs does not bring up anything about spectacles, but there you are. Yeah, let's shrink this down so it's not taking up so much of my screen. There we go. Okay. Let's start having a look here. So it says the... Oh, got something in my eye. What just got in my eye? I've got glasses on. How? How does this happen? There's supposed to be armor for the eyes. There we are. How long have I had my setup for? A while. Yeah. Let me think. August 2020, I want to say. Yeah. August 2020 is when I got this computer. The screens are recent because the old ones started dying. Mouse is newer than that. I think the mouse is only about a year, no, 2 years old. And keyboard a little less than that. But yeah. Do I have Chroma chassis? I do have Chroma chassis. I have 4 of them. Have I gotten used to my glasses? More used to, but yes. And then it was a 1660 by what we need to run more trains. Look, if the 1660's been working so far, I'm still using it. But I am looking to get a new computer this year. Yes. Partly because of the bloody Windows 10 thing. Right, let's see. So Massacre is apparently just a good thing to drop. Nope, I got something in here again. Don't have TPM. I do, it's just... because the Windows 10 thing is coming, it's a good opportunity for me to instead invest into a new setup rather than try upgrading from the current setup. And then the current setup, once I've moved the stuff over to the new one, the old one can be then upgraded to 11 safely because I know I'll have everything set up. But my main focus is to make sure that there's no risk of being unable to do any part of my job, be it video creation or streaming, as part of the upgrade going wrong or anything like that. So a brand new computer is a sensible pickup there, and then if the old one can also be upgraded, I can then do a 2 PC setup, which will be even more powerful and perhaps allow me to do more interesting stuff with my setup. So it's just a sensible investment to do at that point. Alright, let's see. Exultra pieces. I don't like doing this by bits, because there's going to be bits which are worth a lot more. But the sets seem an awkward way of doing this. Let's just try and sort it by sets. Okay. Fang Prime set is low value, and I have no Fang pieces. I guess the Dukenator is... No, my Electroframe slightly out of date. Massacre, and then there's Paris. Nope, I've already got rid of the Paris. Velox. There we go. Velox stuff we can just melt down. Next it says is Bratton. Didn't I get rid of all those? I did. Zylock is apparently on the cheap side. There we go. And that's going to give me enough ducats to get the bits I do need. Didn't I get a new hard drive fairly recently? That's a hot minute ago now. That's a couple years. That is a couple years now, I think. It's been at least a year. Nothing more than that, though. Alright, let's drop those in. Out of curiosity, if I were to select everything, how many ducats of items am I holding on to here? Not to flex or anything, just, well, to flex. Yeah, it's to flex. I'll be honest. It's a flex. How many ducats could I get by turning in everything I have stocked up at this point? Unknown thinking 16k. Interesting. Might be selecting for a while. I'm already into F. How long could it take? Now we're at G. H. Still H. There's a few H's in the game. I. No J's, straight on to K. Okay. Of course, no Jade Prime. But also strange there's no J weapons in the primes. There's our L's. M. Well over 16k. I like I can show it? Yeah, but that's not as fun as doing this. We're into the O's. And then P. Q, R. Plenty of R. And S. Still go at over 24k now. 25k. 26k. 28k. 29. There we go. 30,565 ducats. 30,565. Oh boy. Yeah, that's a few of them. That is a few items when you take into account there. You thought further down it would die off quick? But I don't pick things alphabetically. And I've not got this sorted by sell price or anything like that. So yeah. How long did this take me? Well, I started playing in 2019. So yeah, you know, run the numbers from there. No. I'm not going to do that. The platinum is more convenient to me. I can sell it as sets and whatnot. Anyway, I have now got the ducats to pick up these lot, which is good. There we go. I've turned him right the way down now, haven't I? I don't know what was causing those corpus to be so loud earlier. Well, there we are. So that is... I now own every single mod he has to offer. All of them. Weapons, I have them all. Cosmetics? Evidently I don't. For very obvious reasons. That's a lot of bloody cosmetics, and I'm just not really... And then there's miscellaneous bits. We got glyphs, posters, boosters. You can't own boosters, they just tick down. Various relics, that sort of thing. And I don't really want to grab those. I don't have any reason to grab those. Analog and musics are nice, but you know, YouTube exists. Have I done a secret mission? I don't intend to be honest. I've seen the details about it. I'm disinterested. Don't forget with cosmetics, some of the blueprints that will show up again once crafted. Oof. That's a bit fun. Yeah, nope. I'm good on that. I'm good on that. We grabbed all those bits and pieces that he has to offer there that are at least new to me. And the Ducanator has now updated. Very, very good. Couple pedestals? No, again, cosmetics. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Uninterested. I've already been to Iron Wakes. There's nothing to grab over there. We've done the main alerts that have popped up. And let's face it, these other alerts are not of that particular focus for me, so that is fine. Can we still visit the main relays? Yeah, let's... Oh my god, look how many there are. Let's just have a quick reminder as to what we saw there. Well, how it looks. I like it more when I can see it in game. So yeah, this is a very dramatic scene they've created for us, haven't they? A very dramatic scene. This pre-war era, or at least return to ancient era kind of sentient Eidolon mega construct is insane. And learning that the face was a mask over the top of the actual face. Ooh. Did I pick up the Noggle? Yes, I have picked up the Noggle. Absolutely wild thing. This isn't a frame. This is a sentient. Check again anyways. What do I need to check for? What do you mean check again? Do you think I would forget picking up an... Okay, do I get another Noggle? Eh? But I picked it up. Oh, the server just wasn't handing it out? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough then. So yes, I did pick it up, but also I didn't pick it up. Eternalism. Even here, Eternalism gets us. Fair enough. Let's drop back in. So fair warning to anyone else who also, like me, thought that when you got it, you got it. You didn't get it. Go ahead and try again. Now if I add on over there, it should correctly acknowledge that. Yeah. No Noggle here now. Okay, good. That is good. What am I most excited for from what got announced? To be honest, the Starfinder bit. And yes, partly because I'm involved in it, absolutely. Second is then, what the hell is even going on with all of this? What's up with these really unhealthy stars? What's up with super mega... Oh dear, I can't jump there. Super mega sentient eidolon thing. What's up with the separatists? What's up with Lotus connecting us to so-called corrupted memories? What is what? What? I need to know so much more. Absolutely. But to be honest, there's so much going on in general. Every bit of the Warframe side of things, I am all over. I want to know more. I want to be involved in more. About the only part of the TennoCon everything that did not grab my attention on the main day was the Soulframe stuff, because it's Soulframe. The more I see of it, the more I'm just aware that I am not the target market for Soulframe. That's just a fact, it seems. And that's fine. No game is for everyone. Tower only accessible using prime frames and weapons? I mean, there's every possibility that we may not take our arsenal as it is there. That we may instead be given an arsenal. Or at least for some parts of it. We'll have to see how it all comes together. We do know that accessing the past does not mean simply observing the past, given 1999, but how it all comes together remains to be seen. Is it actually a past we're accessing? How is that all going to come together? You guess the stars are just the tower's a binary system? Yeah, no, that's... Binary systems do not require stars to be connected by 3 separate strands like that. Nor to be so goddamn close to each other. With the direction these are moving, they would indicate that this is the larger star and that is the smaller star, in terms of gravitational effect. But if that's the larger star, that's the smaller star, whilst having the same broad appearance and intensity, then that would indicate that they are about or in the order of the same distance away from us compared to each other. And then, if they're not that far away in terms of distance and they're connected, then they are physically quite close to each other. And if they're physically quite close to each other, that is bad juju, because stars do not like being that close to one another. Celestial bodies in general do not like being that close to one another. Please Google Roche limit for starters. That's just... I can't drag myself away from just how terrifying that is as an appearance. If you know jack shit about stars, then fair enough, it just looks like a space scene. To me, I'm looking at, please get us the fuck out of here. Even if it's not going to go full kaiju explosion tomorrow, that is not healthy to be near. Unless there's some crazy Orokin tech involved, in which case, show me the crazy Orokin tech, because that is more than terraforming, if you keep that stable. Also, yes, the rest of the Warframe stuff in Sentience is cool. SARS! Oh dear. How about that wall run? To be honest, I never played Warframe whilst there was wall running, so I don't have the same nostalgia trip for it. We'll see how it plays out in function. We'll see. Stars are very blue, they'll be pumping out a shed load of UV. Potentially. How the protection is against that is unknown. We've dealt with very curious environments in general. But yes. Wild, wild scene at the back there. And then at the end of the TennoCon playthrough, the shot that they had of the stars and the planets and something else in the background as well. It's like, that space is very, 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 very busy. It's very busy. Yeah. Wall running isn't already a thing? Yeah, we have wall jumping across, I can't demonstrate too well here. But yeah, that's not wall running. That's not constantly going leg across. That's wall hopping. Like that. Wall scraping. Not the same thing. You think we're fine when it comes to UV? I mean, we might be fine when it comes to UV. Don't know about all the separatists. Oops, I fell. But I'm so looking forward to what comes next on this. Really, really looking forward to it. I need to know more. More, damn it. Give me more. I am not satisfied without this fuller information. I need to know more. It's the simple truth of it. Alright, someone mentioned earlier that they needed a chroma chassis. Is the chroma chassis needing person still here? Because I imagine it shouldn't be that hard to get a hold of. How many people are, you know, buying up chroma chassis? I mean, I see them on the Warframe market for like 5-6 platinum. Wonder what wall running will do for Araxia? Probably nothing. Unfortunately. Because Araxia goes to wall and sticks there whilst 4 is active. So that would just be a no bueno. That would just be the end of that. Dark Speed Separatists is also interesting, and they free the Coup of brainwashing somehow as their Rebel Orokin. Hard to say at this point in time. That just adds to the questions, and you're very right to bring that up, Captain Havoc. What was the connection with the Kuva something that happened later? Is that something that the Grineer Queens instilled? Or was that already around at the time? And if so, are we separate? Calling them separatists, is that perhaps unreliable narration being told to us incorrectly? Is Lotus feeding us another false truth? Or have we already been fed a false truth up to this time? We'll have to see how it all comes together on that one. Just how deep does that rabbit hole go? Is she knowingly feeding us a false truth? That is also a valid question, and given the Lotus has been reprogrammed so many times, it's a wonder there's not just entire sectors faulty on her hard drive at this point. Absolutely. No, we'll have to see what is happening there. What has transpired in the Tau system? What are the factions? What do they stand for? Where did they come from? What do they not want to tell you? It's definitely all the way up there in these kinds of questions. We've got to know. It will be an interesting ride, Tom, absolutely. It will be an interesting ride. Just so I'm not sat idly on the screen here, let's load up one of these. Why not? Yo! Summon Psycho, thank you very much for reading on in here. Hope you had yourself a wonderful stream. Welcome on in. Any bits on our Divine Trio? Whispers Nerd, Soul, Harris, Priest Allure, Uriel as... Uriel?
You are here on a capture mission.
What was the title they gave Uriel? What was the title? It's something of Zata.
Do you have a matching relic?
Denier, was it? Oh.
You were near a fissure.
Heretic, thank you. Heretic of Zata.
Don't forget the reactant. You need
And don't we know the translation for the word Zata? If nothing else, it's a curious word to use, a void tongue word, to go alongside these two very distinctly religious types and to have a religious connotation of a devil warframe.
bring them in.
What are all these connotations coming together? A heretic of truth, but pronounced as Zata,
We've got robots inbound.
is leaving so many more questions than I have answers.
The relic has been cracked
Like,
open.
so much more.
Find out what's inside.
I can't even guess as to the direction it's going to go. And to be honest, I've never been very good at guessing the direction these things will go. I'm along for the ride, whatever that ride may be. Damn. Do I even have my one augment equipped? It feels like I don't. I'm going to have to double check that after this run. I might have just been missing every trigger on it, but... No, I have it equipped. I do have it equipped. I was just bad at the game. There we are.
Mission complete.
Is Devil Frame on the unannounced update or the old piece? Devil Frame is later on, yeah. Because unannounced update has the frame we have like basically no details to, right? Because we're told that the devil is not the next frame, then the next frame. Then the 63rd frame, we don't know anything about the 60th other than fungi, yeah. All we got from 62nd is they're a fun guy. So mushroom basis is likely. But how? I'm wondering if fungi is not... if it's going to be a tech rot basis. I do wonder if that's what we're going to get there. Because tech rot has demonstrated a capacity to just manifest a frame entirely. I guess. Like, Flare got corrupted into Temple, and tech rot is very closely connected with all of that lot. Or maybe it's a red herring. Maybe it's a red herring, although their reactions did not look red herring, I'll be honest. Their reactions did not look red herring. If it was, there was a very careful script and planning on that lie. I think they're being real on that one. What's the name of the 60-second Warframe? They didn't give us that. We don't know. For all we know, it could be Bob. Bob the Warframe.
That's it. You opened the relic. Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside.
With abilities like building and wormhole godness.
Got robots inbound.
All things Bob is known for. Think in your mind. What comes to mind when you think of Bob? That's what that Warframe is going to be. They're going to be hunting for apples. Gotta appreciate a good levels dash though. Double range on it. The distance you can go is brilliant.
Great work.
I mean, Bop? No, Bop is the Kubelich, of course. Can't be taking that away from them. Although Kubelich Warframe. Never say never. Rowan Atkinson saying Bob. Yeah. That's the sound effect used for the abilities of Bob Frame. It is just Rowan Atkinson going Bob.
You are here to find our
Yeah,
target.
you're very right, Zom. D have been lying to our face a few times over. They were lying about no spider frame. They were lying about being done with the protos.
Withstand their
Unreliable narrators written by unreliable communicators, I guess.
Use reactant to open relics. They're dropping reactant. Use it to crack open a relic. Keep fighting.
They do enjoy their misdirection.
Target located. Bring them in.
Alright. Let's bring you in.
There's a heavy unit approaching.
Fungi frame releases with the modding quest. I bet the frame will be early game frame. Could be that as well. Could be.
Complete. The captive has been escorted to the extraction point.
Oh god. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. I realise it now. Of course. Of course. If it's going to be part of the modding quest. If that's where it's coming in. There's just so much scope for it. For things like, oh, you've really upgraded that mod on your frame. It looks like there's not much room left.
Your relic is open.
Have you spent all of your endo? Looks like you're a little bit spore now. Yeah.
Another pun? How humiliating.
There's room for it. There's room for it. Would Teshin say that? I imagine it would be Ordis's job. Ordis will definitely be joining in on that. That's how you break up the seriousness of Teshin doing Teshin things, is Ordis tier levity in the form of mushroom puns. Yeah. Yeah. And this is why Ordis and Teshin have beef, yes. That quest will explain modding, will explain the mushroom frame, and will explain why Teshin wants to rip Ordis into 2 parts. Even before Ordis found physical form. And to top it all off, Stalker will spawn in and join in on a singular dad joke. And that will be all the foreshadowing a new player will get that Stalker has his own story. It'll be a sly one. Stalker spawning in and just one of his interactions just comes across as, did he just make that joke? Was that coincidental? And then the reveal later on, the new player realizes all along, yeah, the Stalker was a dad. It was always meant to be. That's how it all comes together. And this is how the old war went so badly in the end. We'll find out in the past as well, is actually just racist Cephalons making bad jokes. This is why the Orokin Empire fell and the Sentients made all their attacks and whatnot. It was actually all to do with just bad joke racist sentinels.
Do you have a matching relic?
Right from the get-go.
You found a fissure. Look out for reactant.
So yeah, there you are then. I figured it all out. I figured it all out. If I never stream again and appear to go completely radio silent, you'll know that D were upset at me revealing all of this and have
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
you know it.
We cannot let our target know we're here. Track them down quickly.
Give me a reactant, plus. Give reactant. There's some. Didn't the Orokin Empire fall when the Tenno went rogue and attacked them? So, also yes, but to what extent?
Well done.
Like, how damaged were they? How much did we have to do with it? Is unclear. All of history is up in the flux at this point. Who knows what's really true? Who knows what is really, truly true?
Well done, Tenno. Your relic is opened.
Let's just make our way past all of this. Nope. God damn it, it was that doorway. Threw me off. There we are.
Great work. I'm pleased with your
Makes sense now. All Cephalons joke around, Suda and Samaras included. And maybe that's why Samaras is so angry, is because he's got all of these jokes inside of him, trying to get out, and in suppressing them, he's the only one suffering them, constantly, on repeat. You ever get a moment where your mind is just stuck on a bit of music, a thought, something invading your mind and you can't seem to get rid of it. Now imagine that happening when you've got computer processor thinking speeds of a Cephalon, but still stuck.
You are here to find
Yeah,
a
that
target
would
and bring
make
them to extraction
that would make me angry too.
Copy hunting. There are void fissures in the
That would make
area.
me angry too.
Use these to crack open a relic. You're near a fissure. Use that reactant to open a relic. You have
Don't think Saya is aware about his jokes though.
want to open that relic.
Maybe he is aware, but it's intended as part of his humor is to make it as deadpan as possible.
Capture them quickly before they escape.
That is his bit, is to just deliver it.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
So Ordis is there making the jokes so
The captain
openly and clearly it's just for the humor. And this is why Saya's disappointed with it. It's like there's no subtlety, there's no build up. Ordis is just going straight for the pun. Where you've got Sai building this narrative to it. They are. This explains all the Cephalons. All over. They're just a bunch of jokesters. Some of them apparently rather racist. Didn't expect yet more space racism, but there we go. Apparently the two go hand in hand.
That's it. You opened the relic. Finish your mission and we'll take a look inside.
Wait, needs for Teshin to mention that since Tenno don't go to Conclave, he needs to come here and teach them personally. Maybe Dio will use that, maybe. Still, having a proper introduction to Teshin is so important. Because even on the damn replay, it was clear to me that Teshin just did not have an introduction. And that... it's been a glaring issue since I started playing. Yeah.
You are here on a capture mission.
So the proper introduction with Stalker?
Capture and extract our
Might be an idea as well, yeah.
Watch out. I'm detecting
Although they have been
void
very
fissures
mysterious the entire time, it leaves you wondering, like, what the hell is their deal? I think that is supposed to be more of the shtick, whereas Teshin, we treat him as someone we know significantly in the quest,
quickly before they
when we
escape.
really don't.
Success. The capture
We
is safely
really
in our
don't.
hands. Congratulations, Tenno. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Come on, y'all corrupted? Yeah, you are.
These are dropping reactant. Collect it to open the
Give, give,
portal.
give. Thank you.
Look for more reactant.
Reactant acquired. Nice. Let's get out of here.
I've collected enough reactant to open the relic.
Damn, there's nothing left to zap there. My companion killed them all.
We've got robots inbound.
Nullifier out of nowhere. Bastard. Till now, do you assume new players would explore relays? Yeah. I explored the relay when I was brand new. Had a look around. Didn't really understand a lot of it. It seemed a bit odd and bare bones, if nothing else. And the idea of Teshin being some great mentor still definitely was not there. He suddenly becomes plot relevant, and it's good that DU are addressing that.
Another job well executed.
No, so it's true, they made the Hun Hao reference during the story panel, but then said nothing about him during the dev panel. They did bring up Hun Hao in Tenno Live. I called it out during the stream. They didn't say it, but the name popped up. Hello. So whilst it wasn't called out specifically, it was in the name. Oh, Hun Hullo, sorry, not Hun Hullo, my bad. Still a Hun start, and we've got a Hun start of a name, HUNH on a sentient with that already in our mind, placement there, there's gotta be a connection. There's just gotta be. So, how that all fits together, we'll have to find out. We'll just have to find out.
We received intel that somebody vital to enemy operations is here. Find them and capture them.
Maybe I lost his name before we got turned? Maybe. Maybe we find that there's been a lot more reprogramming than we once thought. I did say that if we ever go to TOWL, it would be interesting to find out that there's factions of sentience, and that the old war, and especially the new war, was one of those factions being very aggressive. Who knows how those other factions come together, who stands where and how. Especially as you have basically an entire species that can be reprogrammed. And that in itself is terrifying. Like, just from a an agency and a horror perspective, to have your entire kind, the sentient kind, vulnerable to being reprogrammed by others and by non-sentients. Portford say most of the issues and new player experience seem to feel like devs have been dealing with the game so much they've had issues with blind spots. To an extent, perhaps, or just a lack of re-experience, a lack of time to address it. They hinted at it slightly, just slightly during TennoCon, about the limitations of a live service game. That they can't just make whatever. They do still have a game to sell because they need to keep the lights on. I swear they're sounding louder and louder. What's going on here? If I set dialogue to nothing, is that considered dialogue when they die? It is! It is considered dialogue. Right. Right-click dialogue? Oh yeah, I forget you can freaking right-click it for more info now, can't you? Yeah. Here we go. When? When did this get reset? No wonder it felt so bloody loud. What? I can come down a bit. There's no way I just singly have enemies that much louder. Alright, let's see how this is now. That feels so much better. That feels so much better. Oh, it's taking me 1.5 hours to figure out what the hell's going on, but I knew something was off. I knew it.
Great work. I am pleased with your performance.
Last Career say, as a new player, the thing this game lacks is any tutorials for all the systems they throw at you. Wiki's been my friend. Honestly, valid, yeah. I was trying to get another friend of mine to try out Warframe, or rather, they tried to get themselves to try it out because I talked about it a couple of times. The nature of having it as a job. And they said they got 3 missions in, something like that. They immediately gave up after their first public mission. They didn't set it to public, they just came out of the tutorial and was dropped into public. Excuse me. And in that public mission, they ended up with someone who, one, was going so much faster than them because experienced player obliterating a mission, and 2, apparently was snotty about my friend being slow. They're MR0, of course they're bloody slow. They've only just started the game, so screw that player. But it soured the experience for them. They don't want to play with others, certainly others who are going to be just that much more well geared and just speeding through everything, and I get that. I fully get that. One thing I do need to pass along, see if they'll take it as a suggestion, is when they first get out of the tutorial and first would have the ability to go into a public mission, Make a song and dance of it. Make a point of it. Pop up on screen. You now have access to play missions with other players. Continue solo or switch to public. Public matchmaking can put you with players of any level. Simple box like that. One, to make people aware as to this is an option. You're not stuck with it. You can choose and change anytime. Two, to actually explain what the fuck is going on so you don't get blindsided by, oh no, I'm loading in with multiple ships, this doesn't feel good. Oh no, there's the guys and they're just obliterating the map. Because it did just blindside him. It came out of nowhere. He was like, oh, okay, that happened. And then the bad attitude from the high-level player is just the cherry on the top of that shit cake. Yeah. And that's a perfectly valid negative experience, quite frankly. That's a perfectly valid negative experience. So as I say, I had similar experience in EDA this week. Had a bad loadout, was doing the best I could. Others just dragged the whole time. I mean, yeah, if people are going to be dicks about it, you can't really fix it other than just, you know, report them for being dicks if they go too far about it. It is an unfortunate part of the way that EDA is set up, is that sometimes you can just roll bad. And there's only so much you can do, even if you have a really good loadout. Like, a really good arsenal, sorry, so that you can manage a lot of loadouts. Sometimes there's only so much you can do because there are weapons that just suck, quite frankly. And the modifiers in EDA and ETA, they get strong. But yeah. Ray saying, personal idea, like we have creator mode to hide spoilers, we can have restraint mode, so gear and operator cannot give away some of the game. I feel like there are technological challenges there that would take up time D don't really want to spend, for starters. And secondly, the restraint mode is play solo or play with a pre-made group. To be quite honest. Because you can draw the line at so many different types of spoilers. Which one is the one to draw the line at? Which ones, plural? There are so many different lines. Is the Necromecha spoiler? Is seeing a green fucking Fibonacci a spoiler? I get complaints about having a green Fibonacci in my game. I genuinely get complaints from people about that. Because like, oh my god, it's a spoiler! He's green. If that's spoiling the world for you, fuck off and play the game solo. Don't interact with social media. Does it turn green? It can do. You'll find out. But the very knowledge of that is not itself a spoiler. But that's my point, is that to some people it is. Ray say matching least quest progress player in lobby. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Ray, no. No, just no. I'm sorry, can you really think this through from a technological standpoint and gameplay standpoint? You're suggesting that a lobby of what kind is going to then lock people out of their gear and upgrades if they pass a certain quest threshold. And that certain quest threshold is different depending on who is the host and how far that host has gone. Like, big yikes on just the sheer technological challenge of that. And you certainly couldn't do that public. But if it's not going to be a public thing, because that would break so many people's setups, if it can't be a public thing, then it's only in pre-made squads. And if it's only in pre-made squads, just don't make a pre-made squad with people who are using stuff you shouldn't know about, quite frankly. That's on the players at that point for just screwing with their friends. Orange. There you go. No, I don't see that as a remotely tenable solution. Sorry, Ray. And if you're thinking it from the perspective of someone who's decided to continue to not finish the main quest line, because Ray, you are the only person here who does that. No. That is such a micro accommodation. It just would be completely unreasonable. Alright, we're at extraction.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
Now, as I say, it goes back to just that first thing. Hey, you're now in a position where you could be in public matchmaking. Do you want to switch to public or remain solo? And the note about public can put you with people of any level. And that's that. Just that simple thing, so it's not blindsided. I think no, it's more the opt-in idea for people who don't want to accidentally show Kiddo to new players. I've got a simple solution for that, Ray. You look at this, this is a very, very powerful solution to make sure you don't accidentally show Kiddo to new players. It already exists in the game. It's a very, very powerful solution. You see this here? You just unbind it. You just unbind it. There we go. I can no longer press 5. Wow. I can't accidentally reveal that now. It's already in the game. That's such a neat situation, dude. It is a completely neat situation to be in like that. I know you're thinking of the idea of, oh, but someone doesn't want to accidentally do it, so don't press the button. Unbind if you physically can't stop yourself from pressing a button. Plus, yes, it's in like every trailer. Very, very true to Zom. If someone's new to Warframe and just Googles Warframe and looks at info about Warframe, they're gonna see the operator. They're gonna see the bits and pieces going on. The reveals at TennoCon just yesterday very clearly showed off transference. Yeah. I'll say I'd argue it doesn't reveal much. If you're not paying attention, it doesn't reveal much. If you do what my friend did for me, it reveals a bit more. I was on the plains of Eidolon, and they said, hey Ken, look at what I can do. So I turned to look at his Warframe, and he presses 5, gets out into his little boy mode. I'm just like, huh, okay, so yeah, they're piloted. How'd you get out? Friend was a bit of an ass for that? Yeah. Yes, he was. Seeing a kid suddenly running around is confusing. The world exploding around you and maybe catching a glimpse of it, you go, what was that ability? Oh, just something this frame does. Okay, fair enough. Your friend calling out in a complete lull, no combat, and demonstrating it, that's a spoiler. People seeing a green fish and getting upset, or going, oh, but what if I accidentally press 5 near my friend, do not understand what a spoiler looks like. Yeah. So saying even once you figure out their operators, there's like 5 layers of big story reveals after Kiddo. True. There are other bits and pieces, absolutely. But that was certainly one of the reveals taken away. But now, as the game has progressed and as the advertising for the game has progressed, it's become more and more obvious to new players anyway. This happened to me in 2019. I think. Was it? Actually, I started playing the game proper in 2019. Was it then that they showed me? Yeah, it must have been. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get past MR1 originally, and then just left the game. Came back in 2019. So yeah. Right, I was saying, started a month ago, I was so confused watching a video and just seeing faces on Solaris guys. Yeah, I have creator mode turned on, which in all my interactions with the Solaris hides that. Surprisingly, that same creator mode does not hide the green fish, go figure. You know? Hides one thing about syndicates, doesn't hide another, go figure. Ultimately, the game has been out for a very long time. There are going to be things that you'll experience which just kind of give things away.
Success.
Duviri exists. Duviri exists. Is a... it's a very obvious one I can point to there. Created as a alternative new player entrance to the game, which they then switched off and moved back and then moved back again. Originally introduced as, hey, you can start the game this way. Does this in any way ruin the gravitas of the operator? Nah. Yeah. What about an MR filter on public? So you just get matched around your level. That's something they could potentially implement. Honestly, I'm not completely against it. I wonder if it could potentially be toxic if that MR filter had a minimum as well.
Another job well executed.
Yeah. Why would anyone watch the live stream if they're worried about spoilers? Good question. I'll let you know if I ever figure out the answer to that. But yeah. An MR, at least maximum, I don't see anything too wrong with it, other than the people setting the MR maximum wouldn't know what MR is a safe maximum to set. So it's a toughie. It is a toughie there. Again, I maintain that just the case of when, let's call it, yeah, when public becomes available, that simple dialogue pop-up, one that can't be accidentally clicked out of immediately, it locks the screen for like a second or two, so that you are definitely going to see and interact with it. Because fun fact, the number of apps, the number of interfaces that do this, it actively infuriates me. I'm just going to go on a rant about this for a moment. Of a related aspect, it affects Warframe, it affects other areas as well. The number of times that I'll grab my phone, I'll go to look at a notification, I've seen what it is, so I swipe it off. And as I put my finger down to swipe it away, that is when another notification pops in. And so it pops in to swipe. And because it pops in as I swipe, I don't even see what app it's from, it's already gone. Interfaces that are changing in front of you should lock for a second to allow you to observe what it is and react to it. If something is actively changing, wait for the human! Yeah. And Warframe has had moments like this as well, where you can press a button just as something's about to happen, so you just lose it. It's gone. Like if you interact with navigation just as another voice line's about to kick in, it's gone, you can't restart it. Occasionally if you close and reopen the game straight away, you might get it back, sometimes you just won't. He's bad.
There's a heavy unit approaching.
Can we get rid of force start? I would be fine with changing force start to force check everyone's ready to start. Because I think that's where force start really has its issue. Although actually that's already gone. Because you can't force start a random squad now. If you're in a public squad and you matched into people, at the end of the mission you guys are taken out of each other's squad anyway. So it's just people you're in a pre-made with. And they shouldn't be dicks about it. If they are, don't pre-made with them. So that's kind of already been solved, that one. But yeah, interfaces just blapping away. Ugh. Ugh. Not an Archon Hunts? True, Archon Hunts and sorties you kept together for other reasons. And again, yeah, that's where a force start could be addressed. Force start hurts most for the people who haven't finished loading out yet. And so, with that loading out, a force start ideally would check, is everyone loaded out? Are they ready to go? Now we can start. That would be my change there. Tommy starts saying that might be a boomer issue. My younger sister is noticeably fast with reacting to touch interfaces. Oh, sure, yeah. My reaction speed is below average. I know that for a fact. My reaction speed is not that of a caffeinated 12-year-old. This is why I suck at Apex Legends. Well, part of it. The other part is I just can't aim for shit. But that's related. Point is that interfaces are made for humans, not for gods. And I don't care how caffeinated someone may be, I don't care how on the ball their eyesight and reaction speed is, if an interface allows you to be in the process of going to press a button and vanishes in that 100 millisecond window, you're just not going to react to it. so it shouldn't be there. If an interface is going to pop up at a point where the user can interact, lock interactions for a second, it's a very simple thing to code. I say that as someone who has very literally coded that kind of thing, and I'm a complete amateur. If I can do it, devs can do it. What would be my favourite weapon candidate for an Incarnate Genesis upgrade? Amprex. Next. And also, when Amprex turns into a weapon, I want a heavy beam. I don't want torrid beam. I want it to transform like the Fenmore into a heavy-held weapon, and that beam goes beam. I want it to be a beam that is so damn punishing. You worry if you're gonna melt your hands holding it. I want it to be the kind of weapon you wonder, is this not Corvex's signature weapon now? Beam! Not beam, not beam! Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Wisp 4 but actually good. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? You activate your Wisp Beam, and then you activate the supercharge mode. Yeah, I have the power of the sun! Level 30 enemies say what?
You found the fissure.
Yeah.
Look out for reactant.
God damn it, Wisp.
The enemies are dropping reactant. Don't forget the reactant. You need more to open that.
We're gonna one day reach a point, after all the reworks. Ew. We're gonna one day reach a point of all the reworks where finally it'll be Wisp's turn to just address the hell out of that 4.
We will need to extract. We need our subject brought back alive.
Just that. And that would be good. Thanks, you want to do a run with a bunch of frames of beam skills? Go for it, why not? Right, let's go capture that target. Hi, bro. Where do you think you're going?
Bring them in. Watch yourself. Grenier are on the way.
And escape.
To the extraction point. Well done.
So wasn't there a thingy-bob? Yeah, here we are. And then it's on that side. Yep, there we go. Oh, did I miss? Oh, there we are. Just in case anyone's ever wondered how you're supposed to do that without just bullet jumping over it or guessing the timing. You just... Yeah, just FYI, you take that out. That's an ancient bit of trivia right there, but I'm sure there's plenty of people who still don't know that one. Don't need to kill these, I'm done here. There's also the secret room. Yeah, I feel like that one's a little bit more obvious because you'll come across it eventually, but you're not required to shut off the turbines. So that one can slip by undetected. There we are.
Great work. I am pleased with your performance.
Gunson acquired. No. I keep forgetting to hit the restart. It's fine. We've got 2 different captures go at the moment. I'm going to go for the Miso, actually. Let's level it up a bit. Why is that blue? I've already done it. Don't blinky blinky like me. That's at me. Have I played Destiny? No, I've never played Destiny, actually. Never touched it. Just never.
You are here to find our target and bring them to the extraction point. Happy hunting. Watch out. I'm detecting void fissures nearby. Do you have
Void fissures? Never saw that coming. How do you know if Warframe abilities scale best with what exactly? So I'm going to assume you mean, like, how do they scale best in terms of strength, duration, range, and efficiency, right? And in terms of that, it's more looking at, well, just what effect you get out of those abilities. Just what effect is there. Because if we take, for example, well, just take Lavos here. In terms of efficiency, Lavos doesn't have the usual energy cost, so that's already a change from normal stuff. But instead, efficiency affects his ability to reduce his cooldowns with his 3 and augmented 1. So if I want to be using the casting more, then I know that efficiency is significant to him, because I can't just use energy income to fix it. So that's where I know it's an increased consideration for him compared to other Warframes. In terms of strength on Lavos, we know that it affects the healing on his 1, it affects the damage of his 2, it affects the damage of his 3, and it affects the damage of his 4. If we're not using Lavos for damage, we then know that strength isn't actually that important. I mean, missing out on your healing on the 1 does matter somewhat. Missing out on the damage of your 4, if you're not using it for damage purposes in the first place, you're not really missing out, are you? When it comes to range, range is all on his application. It makes it where his 2 goes further, the explosion goes further. It makes it where the 1 can hit a much longer cone. And because of the way that cones are shaped, it hits a much wider area. It makes the 4 hit a wider area. It makes the 3 far more reliable. Because of all of these details coming together, range is really significant for him. It affects every single one of his abilities, and how easy they are to use, how well they apply. So what we get from all of that lot then, is that efficiency is important if we're looking to cast frequently. Strength is only important if we're damaging with him. Otherwise it's not that big of a deal, but you don't want to kill it, because it still provides a healing effect on his 1. But range is in every part of his kit, and dumping it, or even just leaving it uninvested, would leave it weaker. So you work into what the frame's capable of at each step. Now, conspicuously, I've not mentioned duration on him so far, because Lavos uses duration in a very weird way. If you dump duration, you dump your status proc duration. And as a result, dumping duration on him is usually a terrible idea. Whereas buffing it, you don't always need to, because a proc lasting for 6 seconds is usually enough for most cases. What do you want to shoot and still have alive 6 seconds later? So in that regard, it's not always mandatory to go more than neutral duration. And if we look at the rest of the duration effect, on his 1, I don't think it does actually. On his 2, it makes it where the field he leaves on the ground lasts longer. Not a big deal, especially if you're casting his 2 a lot, because it resets or removes the old field. For his 3, don't think it has an effect. And for his 4, don't think it has an effect. Not directly. Again, outside of the passive. So it's a bit of a weird case for him, and again it comes down to what you're using him for. So this is how you decide what's good for different stats, what makes the frame click within those stats, is you really just have to look at it bit by bit. What are the moving pieces here? How does it all come together? Is Expedition 33 on one of my future playlists? No idea. Either you're repeatedly mentioning it or more people are bringing it up, and I still don't know what Expedition 33 is. So let me have a look. Expedition 33. What is this? Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Role-playing video game developed by French studio Sandfall Interactive and published by Kepler Interactive. It's not giving me a lot so far. Groundbreaking turn-based RPG. Okay. Can't say I have any particular plans in that arena, but yeah. Critical Darling RPG. Sorry. Critical Darling? Zom, have you spelt something wrong there? Otherwise, I'm not sure. It's got Arthur VA. I frankly couldn't care less on that side of things. No offense to voice actors, they do a good job, but the presence of a voice actor does not a game make. The presence of a bad voice actor can a game ruin, absolutely, but that a voice actor is present in something is... it's not really that significant to me, I'll be quite honest. Turn-based reaction gameplay style RPG, Souls-like Persona, Souls-like crossed with Persona. Uh-huh. Yep, this is giving me absolutely nothing to go on, sorry. I'm not putting these pieces together to make an assessment, so I'll have a look at it proper later. I'll have a look at it later. Got Game of the Year potential? Means nothing to me, I'll be honest. I've seen what people cheer.
You are here to find our target and bring them to the extraction point. Happy hunting. Void fishers. You need them to open a relic, but are you confident you can...
You'd say it's Mario RPG? Okay. I am now even more confused because we got people referencing both Souls-like and Mario in a turn-based thing. I am lost. Just like that guy that fell. You saw that, right? My guy, that is... What? It's been a while since I've seen an enemy just straight up suicide off the edge, and that was over a railing. Granted, these aren't that high up, but still. Broski was just done with life. Game was influenced by Mario RPG. Fair enough. I still don't really know what to take away from that, but thank you. Oh, this turned into a exterminate, and I'm already most of the way through. I didn't even notice. I was just shooting the things that popped up on my marker.
The enemy is
there we go.
Well done. Now get to extraction.
Time to extract. You got 720 ducats in 1 hour? Let me think. In terms of ducat, if you're cracking a relic every 3 minutes, that would be 20 relics in an hour. And if you got 720 ducats in 20 relics, that would be, what's that? 36 ducats per relic? That is on the lower side, I'd say, yeah. That is a bit unlucky. But let's assume you're cracking relics pretty fast. A relic every 3 minutes is fast. It's not light speed, but it's fast. Did I not have enough reaction there? Oh, bollocks. Oh well. I'm paying plenty of attention right now, aren't I? I'm trying to understand 15 vibes-based descriptions of a game I've never played and have been told about 3 times now. Ah well. You do survivals, turn your brain off? Yeah, fair enough. They're slow for relics, but yeah, fair enough. Cracky crack. Ew, Xmas effect whilst I'm capturing, that's just cheating.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Mission complete. The captain has been escorted to the extraction point. Well,
I know that doing solo survival relics is it's considered an inefficient way of cracking relics, but to be quite honest, not going at anyone else's pace being involved in the mission from start to finish entirely myself. It's just a nice pace. It's just a nice experience. Every shot is mine or my companions. Every pacing is all mine. There's no downtime waiting for someone else to get to a door or get to extraction. There's also no feeling of pressure from someone else having sprinted ahead and just nuked everything with a thermal sunder titania. Is nice.
Great work. I am pleased with your performance.
Very correct, Defamed. Yes, you can also get Steel Essence on Steel Path. Very correct. Yeah, survivals in a public group where people don't stick together, that is pain. No doubt about it, that is painful.
I hope these interest you.
Alright, let's grab some more Phosphate.
Fascinating choice.
There we go. You hate being locked into random reward in your relic? 4 choices are better? Oh yeah, 4 choices are better. If you run in a group, you will get a higher average output. There is no getting around that, that's just a fact. And if you run in random public fissures, there is a chance of people bringing along old vaulted relics or just higher relics they picked up and feel like running this time. So you can get even higher value rewards than you've contributed yourself. So in a way, public allows you to leech higher value returns than you're contributing. Of course, there are plenty of other people trying to do that exact same thing, so it's not a guarantee. But yeah, just because of the multiple roles you can select between, running in a group is broadly more efficient. But if the effect on gameplay is significant enough to you, it can be not worth it. If it becomes bothersome, constantly either waiting for people or having the end screen timer, which also just adds a delay, the breaks and gaps you can have in that, the host migrations, the lag that can come with awkward hosts, all kind of stuff. It all comes down to finding this gameplay that you are looking for the rewards you're looking for. And not being mad at the game just because one of those options that you would like for one reason, you end up disliking for another. That's just a trade-off. Ah, they're dead. They're just still glimmering. Cracking vaulted relics is painful in public games, but you get nothing. Yeah. If you can find groups of people to share the relic with, and if they've got their own copies of it, it does make it a lot faster, a lot easier. It is overall a better experience. The trade-off there is making the remade. If I tried opening up a set of Chroma relics, I'd probably have a harder time than if I was trying to open up a set of, say, what's the most recent Prime? Urali? I've forgotten who we are on at this point. I've forgotten who was the most recent. It is Urali, okay. People opening random vaulted relics for 4 years has done wonder for your arsenal. I can imagine so, yes. You can find all kinds of wonderful items that way.
You are here to find our target and bring them to the extraction point. Happy hunting.
I'm tempted to speed this up a bit. Lavos is a cozy frame, not the fastest.
But are you confident?
Tempted to speed this up, certainly with this intro. Caliban should be next. Caliban is next. We had that confirmed.
Look out for reactants.
Caliban Prime is confirmed. Next Prime coming out, and we're going to have justification for that as well. Which is something I definitely didn't expect. I thought they were just going to hand wave it again. Nope.
We need our subject brought back alive. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Excellent work. We'll interrogate the captive back.
You figured it'd be with us going to Tau?
Is done here, Tenno.
I mean, we didn't know that was a guarantee until now, but yep.
The reactant is working on your relic.
Tau is on the horizon. You do like the newer stories that pay more attention to these small details? Over the last few years, D have really shown that they are not just putting out a game, but they are truly putting their passion into it and wanting to make a good game. A long-standing one. Yeah, there are hiccups, there are issues from time to time, but this approach to their story handling, not just wanting to hand wave so many things, I like it.
That's it. You opened the relic. Finish your mission and we'll take a look.
Am I farming for war target? Or is that weight? Water? Weaponized titanium? I'm not sure what that means, sorry.
Another job well executed.
Aside from Valkyrie, is there info on the next heirloom? I don't think we have info on that, no. I think we have seen concepts, but we don't know which one is actually going to be the next, right? I could be wrong on that. Wasn't there a Zephyr Heirloom concept? There was Zephyr Deluxe concept, I thought that was.
You must find,
From Minky?
capture, and extract our target.
I think it was a Minky work, that one.
You need them to open a relic, but are you confident you can withstand their fury?
Yeah, the thing with concepts is that concepts don't guarantee timeline. They certainly indicate it, but they don't guarantee it. So we can see a concept for a frame, but then they decide to go a different direction. Also, when was the last time I fell down here? Ugh.
Use that reactant to open a relic. Keep fighting. Look for more reactant. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Well, let's approach the heavy unit.
Our target is in the vicinity. Find them. Target located. Bring them in.
How to farm better mods as early gamer in Warframe.
Success.
Look up where the mods you're trying to get it from and do that.
Watch yourself. Grenier are on the way.
Without knowing much more of what you're trying to farm, that is a tough question to really answer otherwise. It comes down to what you're trying to farm and
That's it.
how well you can handle said farm.
Finish your mission and we'll take a look.
61 enemies to kill? Alright, it's a little bit more than the previous mission conversion. That one was 29. Broski. We'll lay and say most key mods that new players need are free if you ask nicely, up until corrupted prime mods and more niche stuff. I don't like that as an answer, I'll be quite honest with you, sorry. I don't like that as an answer. So, telling new players, hey, the stuff that you would like, just ask for it for free from people. The last thing we need is more people begging in chat, going, can I have free stuff plugs? Gib, gib, gib. Even for the people who don't want to be like that, telling them, hey, that stuff you want, just get someone who's played the game to give it to you. It's not really a good answer, is it? It's not what people are looking for in their gameplay. That's why I say look up what you're looking to get. If you've seen a guide that says use blind rage, like what's a blind rage? Google is your answer. Check the wiki, see where it drops, and then do that. If you don't understand some terminology, Google that as well. See if there's a YouTube guide for it. There are lots of YouTube guides out there from various creators, myself included, which cover a lot of these topics.
Broken their ranks and they are on the run. Another successful mission. Find extraction.
But yeah, please, for the love of God, do not resort to just begging other people to give you the stuff. If you want to trade with people, Warframe.market is a brilliant website for finding available trades for pretty much anything tradable. Begging? No. Don't mind me. Just going for a little jaunt. Where was it? Oh, bollocks. Never mind.
Excellent work, Tenno.
Oh well. Oh, Bratton Prime Blueprint. How original. Kevin DeGate saying, hopefully they'll add a search feature with the mod quest to help direct people where they can get them in game. Yeah, because like currently you can go into here, you can go into Universe, which isn't where I'd think to find mods personally, but it's in Universe mods, and then say you're looking for Blind Rage. Well, it says here Orokin Vaults. Orokin Vaults, cool. Orokin Vaults. Okay. Where are those? What do I need to do for it? How do I get it? What's the drop rate? Yeah. That's not an answer. That at most has skipped one step of Google searching. Instead of going to Google and searching Blind Rage and seeing Blind Rage on the page say it comes from Orokin Vaults, ... Yeah. Instead of come here. Orokin Vaults are required to be found as part of relays? Aha. And do you remember literally everything you ever encounter in a game, Porfin? I know that the answer to that is no. The point is that just saying Orokin Vaults is not information. The closest that it's done is just told them to go Google a new phrase instead of the original phrase. That's not helped. That hasn't really helped. Because if I just Google Blind Rage Warframe, Blind Rage is a mod that increases ability strength while reducing ability efficiency, source from official drop table repository. Okay, that's hasn't gone well there. Oh, the Google search, but that's fine. Just open up the page. So yeah. Scroll down, drop locations, Orokin Vault, Orokin Derelict Vault, specifically drop table A, 4% chance, any mission node on Deimos except Cambion Drift, Magnesidium, Exequias, and Hif. Yeah. I think that needs updating. Oh wait, that's the old wiki, that's why it's not up to date. But yeah. The in-game info is lacking there, and basically just leads to yet another Google search. It doesn't matter that the junctions push you there, that information just leaves you. Guarantee it. Also, what about someone who takes a break? What about somebody who's passed that junction before they changed it? Someone who said Orokin Derelict? Fair point. I didn't even catch that. Yeah, you're right. It's the Orokin Derelict map, but yeah, it's Deimos. And the fact that the in-game info is buried behind Universe, then mods, and then searching and getting that. Adaptation, arbitration, cool. Does this mean I trade for it? Does this mean I have to go to that not court? Rolling Guard, same again. Vigorous Swap, same again. Wow, these three are all arbitration. Are these sorted by source? G-O-B... No, never mind. Stay on that, thank you. I'll be quite honest with you. Even knowing where Archon continuity comes from, reading the word garrison doesn't get me there. If someone just asked me, hey Ken, what mods do you get from garrison? I would have to ask you to spell out the word you're saying. Because I'll be wondering, what is garrison? What mission node is that? What planet is that on? What's my opinion on software like Frame? I don't know about like Frame, but specifically Frame, I approve of it. It is a third-party application, use at your own risk, !3pp for DE's answer on that. But, yeah, I like it. Is there an attempt to avoid spoilers? The fact that it could be related to spoilers is kind of crazy when it's easy to just have an info pop up. that respects your quest progression. I wonder, if I search Warframe Garrison, what do I get? Carl's Garrison. Okay. At least Google is understanding where to go with that. That's good. But would it be that much of a spoiler to put Carl's Garrison? I suppose Veilbreaker is after New War. My point stands. The in-game information there is lacking, and hopefully that's part of what D are going to address with their mod quest. Hopefully they'll address that kind of thing as well and be like, yeah, here's the actual information. Now you know what's going on. What's it say for peculiar mods? You'll have to check that, sorry. Exercise for the viewer.
You are here on a capture mission.
You want to toggle for Purple Fortuna? Do you also want to toggle to turn off Square Valis? Because a friend of mine really would like to see the end of Square Valis. And I understand it. It bugs him far more than me. But then I also don't go to the old Valis, so... yeah. Do you think it should link the wiki page for the source if you click it? Honestly, given that there's now the official wiki, that might be an idea they'll implement. There wasn't the official wiki before, but now there is, so it could indeed be one of their answers to go, hey look, you know what, the outer game tool is just superior in every way, here it is, have a look at it. Or they may set up an integration to read from that information. Ah no, as a player, as a publicly editable wiki, bringing that in-game would be a bad idea. But linking to it wouldn't be a terrible choice. I wonder how that would work for consoles. Just because of different architecture and how they are set up, but could work. I don't need to go up here. I just need to leave. I know it can be done. It's just a matter of the decisions as to how and what. How come? I don't think we'll have an answer on that anytime soon. You never know, actually. With the other protos on the way in, we might get more information there. Why the Infested seem to have that devotion to the operator? We'll find out, I suppose. Flo, I get where you're coming from on damage attenuation. Bit of a complete segue and tangent away from everything we've been talking about, but sure. And yeah, damage attenuation, I understand why it exists for big enemies. The fact that it was ever added to Dedicants is insanity to me. But I've talked about that one at length. I have talked about that one at length.
We received intel that somebody vital to enemy
They can make
operations
damage cap scale with enemy level.
and capture them.
Alex,
You need them to
Alex. Just to be very clear for a moment. Given that damage attenuation has been in the game for years at this point, and given that many people have so many different opinions on it, do you really honestly believe that anything could follow the "they could simply" and not come across as a little out of touch? I'm saying this to get you to reflect on your own thought process there.
But are you confident you can withstand their fury?
If it really were so simple,
You found
do you think
the
no one at D
mission.
would have thought of it?
Reactant. The corrupted enemies are dropping reactant. Collected to open your void realm. The reactant is working on your relic. Find more.
Damage attenuation's original introduction, if I recall, attenuation as we now know it went back to when Kuva Liches were introduced in Railjack, and there was the very clear and present risk of them just being obliterated instantly by the obscenely overpowered Archivex, if nothing else. Sure, players had access to other gear that was really, really powerful, But the Architects was singled out as having just so much of it.
Open the relic. Finish
There are other
the
things that
mission
have had damage
with
caps or weird resistances. The damage attenuation, as we know it, came in there. Because I remember the significant amount of complaints on Reddit and otherwise, people saying, oh my god, upgrading my weapon makes it worse. An unmodded Furious is the best way to kill it. Shit like that. People were genuinely peddling the most dog shit Furious build. Not Furious Incarnate, just Furious. Thinking it was the way to counter attenuation. Because they simply didn't understand what was happening. And the lack of feedback in-game as to what was happening is a huge part of why it was so reviled. But the reason it was introduced comes back to the Architects. It comes back to players having tools that could obliterate easily the content. And on the one hand, I get it that it's supposed to have more of an interaction challenge, not just a oops, I pressed the I win button, to allow for the gameplay meta to be a bit more interesting than, bro, just get in your necromech. But the issues that have come out since then, including the absolute bullet sponges that you've turned some options into, is pain. And it leads me more to wonder if the solution is better placed on what they make available to us rather than how they restrict what we get to use. But yeah, Dedicants should never have had it. Dedicants are just daft. Fair enough, Alex. You believe you have the simple answer? You've doubled down on it? Okay, I'll leave you to it. This example, Dedicants would always die in 4 seconds if you deal enough damage. Ah, okay, I see. Right. Just make attenuation a timer. Got it. Alex, I don't think I can say anything without being frankly snide and rude at this point. So I'm going to leave you to your opinion on that one. That one guy saying, personally I would appreciate a move towards more weak points and directional shields.
Find them and capture them.
Maybe. I also remember glass resonance in your area,
You found a fissure.
which is certainly a thing. Quick question though, just as a broad thing. If someone finds the game easy, is that a problem?
Find more.
Not if everyone finds it easy, if someone finds it easy.
Stay focused.
Is that a problem?
There's a heavy unit approaching. You're still in the clear. No detection from enemy sensors.
Now, if you find the game easy,
Bring them in.
is that a problem?
The capture target has vital information that we will need to extract. We need our subject brought back alive.
Is it a problem if you personally find the game easy?
Excellent work. We'll interrogate the captain back at base. Your
Warframe's
guard
never
is
been
here.
Dark Souls. Warframe has never pitched itself as Dark Souls. I'm grabbing Dark Souls as just the example of a game which a lot of people would definitely agree is not easy. Others will find it easy because they're very, very, very good at video games and play it enough to the point that they understand all the mechanics and then they just consider it easy.
Prosecutor.
Good for
Get
them.
ready for a tough fight.
The difficulty of a game is different on a per game basis, and the skills of players that play those games is very, very varied.
You have proven the prosecutor
To quote a certain disgruntled park ranger, the overlap between the smartest bear and the dumbest human is quite considerable. So with that in mind, it is necessary for games to decide the level of difficulty on average they wish to pitch, knowing that some players are going to find that easy, some players are going to find that hard, pretty much regardless. Your questions around that quote? The quote comes from why they're not bear-proof bins. That's why.
Tenno,
So,
a prosecutor is approaching.
when it comes to increasing the complexity of the game, when it comes to enemies that have very specific mechanics that you need to deal with, when those mechanics are a change away from the mechanics that Warframe gives you, each new mechanic that you can't avoid, it's part of the gameplay, is another mechanic that another person is going to be put off by. And it is very tough to balance that. Very tough. If we replaced every single dedicant with a particular weak spot to hit that could only be hit with a precision hit, and that otherwise you had to go through the damage attenuation or couldn't kill them at all, then that leads into issues with those who struggle with aiming in general, or it leads into issues with someone's loadout not having a precision part of the kit. Now you're required to bring this. It leads to issues as to how does that handle under lag, how does that handle with the verified natures of precision weapons, how precise does it have to be, what other modifiers come into play. And again, I cast back to glass resonance in your area. For those of you who are unaware of that, you lucky lot, it has been a while. That is going back to this one here. We've been a while since then. God, it's longer than I thought. It's been a while since then. The Glassmaker. What was happening during that is in all the missions, at random times, glass resonance in your area would happen. There would be these glassy effects. Enemies would start being vitrified. They would become invulnerable to damage except on these specific weak points that appeared across them. Random enemies, random times. It could ruin even stealth and spy missions because now all this shit is erupting everywhere. And lots of people complained and complained and complained about it. Not everyone, but there were so many complaints. And the thing is that it wasn't for a minute. It wasn't for a day. It wasn't for a week. It was the entire bloody run. Also, you can see where I started playing the game, can't you? It was the entire bloody run of it. You couldn't avoid it. You couldn't just skip around it. There were some things that made it easier, and there were other things that simply just did not work. Now, if that gets expanded, applied to a greater variety of enemies, and more mechanics beyond that added in, it becomes more and more of meeting the objectives being thrown at you, less so playing your power fantasy where you get to whip out whatever weapon prime, Incarnate Wraith, Vandal, or Obliteration 9000 and do what you want. So yeah. In terms of there being just simple answers to damage attenuation, I'm not saying that attenuation is the correct answer, far from it. I do feel that attenuation has more than run its course and has been applied now in some clearly bad areas. I do like the implementation of the tank fight in many ways, of having those particular weak spots to shoot, but at the same time, on the second stage of the tank fight, I do find myself just kind of spray and praying at times, hoping that I'm going to find the weak spot in this sheer mess of what's going on. For normal enemies, damage attenuation is abysmal. And quite frankly, the idea that some enemies can be so damn resilient that they take more damage to kill the stronger the damage you're using is asinine to me. Because there's not a counter other than wait. The fact that I can kill it just as quickly by shooting it for a bit and then shooting something else and coming back a second or two later is insanity to me. How does the new Jade Augment handle? When it regards to damage attenuation, it gets attenuated. it gets attenuated. We saw that happen as well. Ultimately, Warframe can be many things. DE themselves are not entirely sure what Warframe is at this point in time, but it is many, many things. What it should never be is unengaging. Where you find yourself just pitched against a brick wall that can't threaten you, but also can't be killed by you until it is done doing its thing. When all the mechanics just sit by the wayside and you've just got the one mechanic of hold down the attack until it dies or you run out of ammo. That ain't fun.
Another job well executed.
Oh, how's a Jade Augment in general? It's a cute upgrade for Jade's kit, but it's not something I'd build around or focus on. It doesn't have the kill rate to maintain in survival as its core thing. It's a bit finicky in its application, so multi-hitting is out. It doesn't work on ragdolled enemies, so it can get work done, but you're better off playing Jade for Jade, and if you can fit it in as an interesting mod, you can fit it in. I wasn't that impressed with it, which is why there isn't a video from me on it. It's unfortunate. Does anyone know the specific time down to the minute when Valkyrie Prime comes out? Valkyrie Prime's been in the game for a while. It's cheese balls. Heirloom? Oh, I don't think DE knows down to the minute on that one, though.
You are here to find our target and bring them to the extraction point.
DE doesn't know to the minute.
Watch out. I'm detecting void fissures nearby. Do you have a matching relic?
To be quite honest, if DE ever managed to get things to the minute,
Look out for
good planning has got the most of the way there, but there is a significant amount of luck involved. They are not a Japanese bullet train when it comes to scheduling.
Collect it to open your void relic. Keep fighting. Look for more reactant. Scans indicate our target is in the vicinity. Find them.
Let's take you down. There we are.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit.
Talking about Valkyrie, anyone got their Twitch drop yet? I think I got mine. I got some Twitch drops. Yep, there it is.
Located. Bring them in. Success. The captive is safely in our hands. Congratulations.
Shoot, I need some more reactant. I think there was some corrupteds back here. Yeah, I did say I was going to probably switch off a level, so then it's just comfy to keep playing it, isn't it? It is just comfy to keep going. I mean, if I played Titania or something else like that, either I'd need to go for a Thermal Sunder setup, which is a little bit boring, I'll be honest, or continuously shoot down the enemies anyway. So for all the speed they offer, it's not really that big of a deal. And I hit this and just escape away out. But not Uranium. Oh, shit, I screwed that one up. Did they explicitly say our reserves of focus could be used on new focus school stuff? They didn't say anything about that. So, wait and see, quite frankly. Wait and see. Yeah. Ah, damn it. Let's try that again. There we are.
Great work. I am pleased with your performance.
Could I show the most recent post-rework build for Valkyria? Sure, let's see what I've got on Valkyria at the moment. Let's see. I'm still not going to do an update video on that one. It's been long enough now that others have covered it, and I just don't want to go back to that, quite frankly. But I can bring her up in action for a bit. Let's see, what did I put on this at the moment? So this is a low range approach. Is that what I want it to be? That is giving me a lot of duration. Let's roll it. Let's roll it. And talents. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, I've got the pure damage on the arcane there, haven't I? Yeah. I think I set this up with this much duration for an EDA run. Because I had negative duration modifier. That's what it was, yeah. Minus 50% duration from EDA or ETA. So I was fighting against that. That's why flow is in here as well. The amount of energy. Yeah. I was fighting against that. So, I can take that out for the moment. I don't need that much duration after all. And instead, what do I want to pop in here? I mean, that fits. Don't know if I want or need that, but it fits. I'll run it. Will you be getting a Valkyrie guide and or Oberon post rework? Oberon maybe, Valkyrie not for a long time. I really genuinely do not want to touch that. Big fan though. Let's go for... Don't really want to do defense. Ah, sod it. This one. It's not that high level, but we'll do it anyway. Did they fix the overall Murmur boss cheese? Yeah, a while ago. A while ago on that. Yep.
Watch out. I'm detecting void fissures nearby. Do you have a matching relic?
Alright, let's see how we handle. Probably not that great, because, you know, it's only Valkyrie. Who can enjoy Valkyrie, right? Clearly she got ruined.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Rip. I haven't got a companion applying loads of status effects, so I'm going to have to recast my 3 frequently. It's a subsumed 3, but that's fine. Shouldn't be the end of the world. Where's that next thing? Oh, you're getting overguard from this little shit. That's what that sound was. You always found it odd she had a billion armor given, yeah, the invuln. Yeah. And he eventually came to the same conclusion. Like, why are we giving her a bunch of armor and an armor boosting ability and health steal to then just go invulnerable? And now she's this. Now she's this. Perish, please. Thank you. I hope they touch up on Equinox someday. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Watch yourself. Grineer are on the way.
Oop, got stuck there. Do most people come around to this? Maybe. But still not going to touch. Alright, it looks plenty workable to me, you know. Sure, this is low-level steel path. At this point, everything tells you this. People care about level 500. I'm not going to do a level 500 mission right now, just to prove to some grognard that damage that works here works there. Really not in the mood. I have done said demonstration in other streams, so someone who cares enough can look it up.
Broken their ranks and they are on the run. Another successful mission.
How much damage was that? Hold on. We'll get out this mission though. I just want to have a look back. I think I saw that one wrong. That looked like an incorrect amount of damage. Which isn't possible, so I want to know what I actually just did there. There we go. Alright.
Very good.
Is it still the case where a slide attack does way more damage than normals? Not anymore, no. The modifiers on other parts of a melee actually got buffed up, so they're worthwhile. Alright, so let's pop out of that. Let me just have a looky-loo here. Video, save video, Warframe, that replay, what just happened there. Just get the bit that happened. I did see it correctly. I did see it correctly. Okay. This is what I saw here. 151,234,080 damage. 151 million damage. What the fuck did I hit? Just a group of them? Just a group of enemies and just slammed into them and one of them went, oh, I guess I'll die now. Yep. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Headshot? Might have been. She does do that big over-the-top slam with her leg. But yeah, that kind of... That'll hurt. That'll hurt. And you can see the buffs at the same time there. We've got the 344% armor bonus from Warcry in combination with Hysteria. I'm using 180% is that, yeah, pure damage bonus on melee to go alongside the rest of everything that's happening there. We got the 6 stacks of secondary or primary dexterity on one of the guns, doesn't matter, we're not using that. We got the main melee stacks, we got the crit damage to go alongside the crit chance, and we've got, I think, status damage to go alongside his chance. Yeah. Why is Umbral Fiber waste on her? So, if you go for Umbral Fiber, you can go for a full Umbral set, but it's a bit expensive to fit. In terms of Umbral Fiber, it is giving you up to, what, 187% armor, if I recall correctly. In this setup here, I already have a 344% armor bonus from Warcry Hysteria. So 187% on top of that isn't actually giving you that much more armor. Let's get the actual numbers here. From that 344, where does that actually put me then? Let's have a look at that real quick. Is Galvanized Elementalist and Current Claws? Let's just have a quick gander there. Galvanized Elementalist right there, yeah. That is there. Anywho, back to this. So yeah, this setup here is using 0 armor bonuses, and we got the base armor of 1000. With the 344% coming out of this plus that, we got, well, 4,440 armor. So 4,440 armor gives us a 93.67% damage reduction. Okay. Now, if we add in the fiber, and no, it doesn't multiply. Let me just get an empty setup so I can see the full effect. Assuming you did go full on roll. It's 180% bonus. Okay. So we're adding on 1,800 armor there. So instead of 4,440, this would be 6,240. Which increases the damage reduction from 93.67 to 95.41. Which, if I divide this all through... with Umbral Fiber added in, assuming it was fully stacked, we would be taking 28% less damage. 28% less damage. What you have to understand at that point is how much more resistance do you need to be adding in. If you need a resistance modifier here, I wouldn't be going for Umbral Fiber. Then the first thing I would be going for would be adaptation. Straight up. If you need further resistances still, I'd be considering looking at a subsume that might feed that instead, rather than this subsume I've got for sustain purposes. There are other options you could go for before going for that armor bonus. Even rolling guard might be more beneficial to you at that point, giving you a few seconds of immortality from time to time, rather than trying to stack up armor even further than it's already at. And don't forget, this is only a 229% strength build, with a steel charge drone in there, which honestly is less than ideal. If I were to really rethink this build, I probably wouldn't be going that direction. So ultimately, that wouldn't be my focus. Now, if you do go full Umbral, you also do get the benefits of extra health, and that is able to matter. Because the health going up from 1,500 to 2,100, that's a big jump. That is a big jump, so it's going to allow you to survive much greater hits. Absolutely. But in terms of surviving much greater hits, your next question is then, how often are those hits happening? Are you already vulnerable to these one-shots? Do you need that amount of power for the kind of content you're going into? And are you going to include any scaling healing? Because none of the healing that is on here cares about your maximum health. So long as you aren't getting one-shot, maximum health doesn't matter unless it affects your healing. All it's used for is surviving the initial hits long enough that you can get your healing to get back up again. So bringing it all together, absolutely just minimal value overall for the Umbral set, considering how much space it takes up when you can work into other directions. You can make it work, absolutely, but it does come at serious costs. Argument for Arcane Battery for setup? Sure, yeah, that is an option. Like I say, this is not a finished build. Please do not take this as a finished build. I said that at the start, I said it at the middle, I'm saying it again now. This is not a finished build. I'm going to write this on here because people are going to join the stream and think it is. Not a finished build. Okay, can't type that much in. Do not copy. Test. I want to be very, 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 very clear about this. If it's not in a YouTube video, it's not a finished build. This goes for every single build you ever see on this channel. If I've not put it in a YouTube video, it's not a finished build. Even the ones that I say look like they're pretty much done, I then go and do further testing off stream and find more things. If it's not in a YouTube video, it's not a finished build. This was just someone asked, what have I currently got on my Valkyria post rework. And that was that. And then it ran through a mission and it didn't die. Yay. If I cared to flex it higher, what would it look like? What animation says is that, by the way? No idea. Let's find out in a sec. Carnivex Agile. There you go.
Hi, fellow time traveler.
Felomir and Minerva are ready when you are. Stand by
Sure.
for temporal shenanigans.
Sure. Alright, cool. Those negatives, Valkyrie actually laughs at every single one of them. I love it. Not going to make any other changes. Deal with it. Not here to make changes. I'm here to just do things. Although I will change my focus call. Because I don't want that one. I want that one. There we are. That just locks that in a little bit more.
Okay, get your loadout ready because once you're locked in, I cannot pull you out without the whole run going to hell.
I have no idea how well this is going to go because these modifiers can absolutely screw you in various ways. Double Legasite, hostile overgrowth stacking players, enemy health regens. Ooh, yeah. Luminous bullshit. Oh, fun. And then, yeah, I expect this one to go badly because I remember seeing the complaints on Reddit. I expect this one to go badly. But we're more just looking at the capability of the frame here. I'm not trying to do it, I'm trying to see what the frame does.
If you harvest a Legasite under the precise conditions outlined in my model, we should see something. I don't know what, but I'll know it when I see it.
Let's go see it then.
Does the tech rot mourn its lost children? Huh.
Alright.
Let's go, Kalimos.
Indeed. Kalimos. Off we pop. You'd recommend EDA instead? Yeah, but I'm already here now. And it makes it slightly higher level, doesn't it? Yep, level 475. Let's see how we handle that. Can I not get stuck there? That'd be great. I think these are for Kalimos. There you go, have another. Tear through this crap. Oh, we got a couple more of these little Kalimos gifts to turn in. Where's another one? I can see it. It's right here. Hey, get it. Cool, let's go get Legasite and Legasite. The best double boss you've ever seen. Like Spy, but absolutely nothing like it. Are these the Legasites, or are these just in my way? These are just in my way. Damn it, show me the real thing. Where you at? Now, don't you try running away from me. Where are you? Genuinely cannot see you, but I could just follow the damage numbers. Follow the damage numbers. There we go. Cool. I'll need to properly capture this one as well. There we are.
We're basically devouring the tech rot's young here. Can you blame it for wanting to change history?
Worm Prime is unfortunately down, but that's fine. Kalimos, let's go find the next one. Let's keep up with the weird ghost cat. And down here. Up here. Come on. Where do you want... Have we gone full circle, you little shit? I can see your trail, you know. What the fuck was that about? The cat just took me for a walk. You little shit. Alright, whatever. I'm over it. Grab this. Where is Kalimos? Up here? There we go. Continuing to go for a walk. Very helpfully. I think I just got rid of all my combo. I did, didn't I? Why? Oh. Yep, full combo gone. Ah, okay. We'll build it back up, it's fine. I'll just wail on things. Whilst Kalimos does some sniffing, I'll just build the combo back. It's fine. Right, 4 times. 5 times. Hoping for a bit more. Still hoping for more. 6 times is gonna have to do, isn't it? Oh, it's not over yet. Clearly Valkyrie unplayable in late game. I know, right? Alright, double leg sight. 7 times combo. Let's do this. This way. I do have to acknowledge I haven't got infinite energy here. It's very easy to run out of energy. I just picked up 0 energy there after all. It's very easy for these things to go wrong. These aren't even the Legocytes, god damn it. Bamboozled again. That's a real one. Cutting through it. There we go, this one down, then I'll go hunt the other. Well, at least I got it to 12 times combo. Oh, how nice of you to turn up. I am taking a few hits here. Luckily for me, I can take a few hits. And it's down. Legocytes defeated 4 of 6? Got to do this again. Okay, whatever. Alright, where's the cat? Clearly we haven't done enough of this mission. Come on, you weird ghost feline. Ferret out what we gotta get. Because I got full combo, I don't need to build up. Just hand this all into the cat. Now we're at 73. There's some more pickups over here. Where are they? Oh, no, they're really far away. I can't be bothered to go that far. We'll just stay by the kitty. Here we go. Double Legocyte hath spawned. Let's go find them and grind them into paste, specifically. Get no idea, you artists. Alright. Re-up the buff. That's a fake Legocyte again. That's a real one. Yes, go invisible. This will save your life. Ow. Okay, the escalator is saving your life far better than Invis ever does. Wait up. I see the procs, I see the procs. Ha! You cannot evade me, I have damage sense. This is just a random companion, this is just my Worm Prime equipped. I didn't specifically choose it like I did in the original demo stuff. Because in the original demo stuff, I wanted something that could apply a bunch of statuses to keep my 3 running better. It also unintentionally gave me more shield gates. That was not part of the plan. I just forgot that was a feature of it. Oops. I'm dying. Yep, I'm dying repeatedly here. I don't know exactly what is killing me, but I was dying repeatedly there.
When you took out that Legasite, you wouldn't believe the data spikes. Do I know what it means? No. Well,
yeah, what the fuck was killing me there? That was
Something's pushing back against
that
what
was
we're
relying
trying to
heavily
do
on my
here.
passive.
Target
God
time.
damn.
Go.
Why was that one just able to murder me outright? And that's why she has a mortality passive, kind of undoing the whole concept. I still don't know what to make of that, and that, I'll be honest, is part of why I'm not doing a video on Valkyria. Because I still don't know how I feel about that, what I think about that. I don't have a good enough answer. So I'm not giving an answer. My no one? What, to move around here? Because I want my energy. For defensive purposes if I need it. Now I know I'm safe too. Yeah. Hey, I got an Archon shard for that. That's good.
Hellscrub towers are little treasuries of valuable data. Fire them up and I'll jack into the data
I
stream.
definitely pressed 3 there. Don't lie to me. Okay, so activate this, activate that, activate this. I need to go to the Hell Scrubber. Is it all the way down in here again? Ew. Get blapped. Let me through, let me through, let me through. Alright then. So I want to stay out of the toxin. Got it. Can the enemies come to me then, please? Because my passive is running out. Ah, Luminous. Right, let's see how I handle Luminous. I'm going to act like they're not there. Let's see how this works if I act like the Luminous just don't exist. Maybe this is a bad idea. Maybe they'll obliterate me. Maybe I'll survive. But honestly, that's all I got. I'm just going to play as is. The much better than ones on Demos. Fair enough. 34 million damage hit. Don't mind if I do. So I'm really only on level, what, 478? It's fine. You can use the Invuln without being locked to Hysterium. True. Yep. You can use other melees with it now. That is also nice. Trying to maintain life support. Seeming to do alright with it at the moment. In fact, yeah, life support's back up to 90%. My energy is a bit low because I did leave my 3 off for too long. Let's try and get that back up. There we go. 132. Let's get more energy, please. Okay, those Luminous are eating my energy. I need to be more careful. I can't completely ignore them because I let my 3 down for too long. Yeah, let's get that energy back a bit. There we go. That is more manageable now. There we are. That's maintaining. But it ain't great. Do have to keep moving away from the limiters. I can't completely ignore them because my energy will be sapped. Well, this is why I have an energy sustain built into her. She lives and dies by that energy, so she needs something to maintain it. She just feels so much better with it. I don't see paralysis giving anything remotely close to that feeling. Like, it's zero contest. But yeah, this seems to be handling. We're about halfway through. Luminous are continuing to try and be a threat. Emphasis on the try. I'm trying to find enough enemies to keep hitting, to be honest. Are we actually running out of them? Seems like a genuine risk at the moment. Despite the fact that's physically impossible. And Valkyrie has no trouble getting rid of the corruption on those life sports. Again, not even slightly a threat. What are having Nourish instead? Nourish would allow you to get more from the energy that's already there, but it doesn't produce energy. It multiplies it. So the significant difference there is that I'm producing all of these health orbs, these energy orbs, from my melee kills. That's my sustain. If I were to have a situation where they just wouldn't drop for a while, which granted against Xmas isn't a concern, but against normal units is, then I'd be in a worse spot. So I prefer being able to generate my my energy rather than multiply it.
I talked to about particle physics in the void, and I love to talk about that stuff. He would just like listen to me blather on.
As for the other benefits,
right
the benefits of the viral, honestly, it's great, but companions can provide the viral support, so it's not a be-all and end-all. The healing is taken off of it, that's Grendel only. The team buffs, I'm solo. And teams will benefit from the orb drops in the way that... in the same way as well. If they don't have equilibrium, maybe less so. So yeah. I wouldn't write off... what do you call it? I wouldn't write off Nourish. But it doesn't feel like it's really the right choice for me here. What is the right choice? I'm going to go have to pop one of these life support capsules. That's getting a bit low. You know what? I'm going to pop another one over here as well. Just to concentrate where I'm active and also get us well back up on that life support. There we are. It wasn't strictly necessary, but it just means I am now at a very high life support. It's going to be that much easier to maintain it to end the mission. Oh hi, this finally showed up. I don't go hunting for these because they can just kind of fuck off at times. You're like, okay, well, guess I just won't be doing that. Can I cut through this attenuation? Especially with the Luminous right on top of me. And I'm outside the zone. And I just used my invuln. Oop. That's risky. Luminous right on top of me. Babao and forced out of zone. Not great. Not great there. Not a huge fan. Try striking it a bit again. Watching all of my key readouts. Energy is low. You might not consider 100 energy low. In this case, I definitely do. Because of how quickly it can drop. I want that Babao over here. Why is it staying all the way over there? Oh, it's healing. Fuck. I didn't notice it was healing. Alright, I'm just not going to focus on it then. It's attenuated to hell, so I'm not going to focus on it. Another reason I don't go hunting out the Babaos. We can fight here, inside the good zone, but it's fully healed from that health leech earlier. Just a minute left, and this thing is not going anywhere now. Double whammy of things to deal with. As long as I have the energy income, I can keep this going, but this thing is not perishing. Nope, that was a lot of damage I just took. That's another blitz. Want to get rid of you because you will hurt me. Have I made a dent in this? I haven't. I don't know where it's getting its resistance from now, but I am making no progress on killing that thing. That's just going to sit there and be threatening. I'm out of energy. Out of energy is a death knell. Death knell is bad. Fuck. 1 second. Get me out of here.
Patterns are showing some freaky interactivity. Like iron filings on a
No,
magnet.
don't stagger me now, you little shits. Get me out of here.
Meet up with Minerva and let's finish the assignment.
Yeah, that was... There was nothing I could do to kill that. Limitless right on top of me. Can't go out of zone for too long. Nebulous damage threats all over the place. Continuous Xmas spawns. Damage attenuated enemy being buffed by Leech Xmas or some other source of healing. I was never going to cut through that. Never.
Last order of business. Flair's concert tonight. It needs to happen. If Victor shuts it down, then there's no telling what that does to the timeline.
Alright, I'm fairly certain I'm not going to survive this, but let's find out.
Placed hair on Flair's head. You've got my word.
Uncle Crew, see what you can do for me. Angel Protector. Remind me what are the modifiers here? Drones fly above Flare, spraying them with Favon gas. Allies are in, close range, blah blah blah. My optics. Okay. Let's see what I can do. At least with biopic munitions, melee doesn't even notice the difference. Excuse me, we also just fly around the map apparently. Oh, challenge complete. Kill 500 enemies, 120,000 XP. Sure. This is going to be a pain. That sounds like my Latem's unmodded. Ah, shit. Have I got an unmodded Latem equipped? That does not sound like my usual firing speed on it. Oh, low energy. Low energy. Need enemies now. Need enemies now. No energy gain from that? Shit. Ooh, just about found some energy in time there. Cannot screw around with the energy demands. I have a single mod on it. Yeah, I think I reduced the fire rate down to get a hold of the sound effect on it nicely. God damn it. Alright, well. That is what it is on that. At least the Pullman can still shoot those things.
Remember when I used to take you out dancing? Wasn't so long ago.
Suppose I'm not using damage to health turns into energy? What, equilibrium? Oh, wait, no, you're on about 100 adrenaline. Yeah. Honestly, it's something that could go on this. You're not wrong. But I feel like the energy income is usually enough that that's not a concern. But maybe I'd feel differently after this. Especially as that did not drop orbs. Where are my orbs? Orbs, 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 orbs. This is not the thing to fight. I'm out. Energy is out. Shit. No. 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 Alright. Nope. Energy gone. There's my energy. Alright, let's get back up onto this. There we go. Energy economy suffering a little bit here. Oh, fuck them. I'll get back to them later. This everything on the ground? That's everything on the ground. Nope. One more over here. Alright, just these to deal with. Would Archon intensify work over heals? No idea, I can't remember, sorry. There we go. Okay. Now we drop down. Fight continue. Stuff on the ground, that's what I want. Stuff on the ground is stuff I can melee, stuff I can melee is stuff to give me orbs, stuff to give me orbs is a way to keep me going. I need that energy economy. This is an absolute cluster. What even is happening in here? D-Jump, looks like you've got your answer right there. Captain Ravioli is a link to the third party policy from DE. So whilst DE won't endorse a Leica Frame or any other third party app, I do endorse it. I see no issue with it. But that is, use at your own risk. I take no liability for it. I endorse it, but that's as far as I can say. At the end of the day, I am just some dude on the internet. Where's this? Oh, it's this thing. There we go. I'm not blind, I promise. I am wearing my glasses. More of those. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. I feel like I'm killing some things on the ground and not getting orbs from them. Yeah, I'm not getting orbs from any of these. What the hell? There we go. It feels like my 3 is not working at the moment for some reason. I don't understand. I could have sworn it was just melee. No other conditions, just melee. For the health orbs, at least. So far, so good. 3 is Varunas? Yeah. Lycaf's Hunt is what I've got in operation here. Ah. Give me that back. Is that a Health Leech Xmas balloon? How quaint. Alright. Coming on to the last wave now? Yep. Which means Screamer somewhere. There it is. I am nullified. No point trying to counter that, I think. I need to keep my passive up just in case of shit like that. I'm nullified. Where the hell did all of these come from? Need to defend Flare. Need to defend Temple. There we are. Okay. With that down, I can switch back to all of this lot. Whew. It doesn't work. What doesn't work during channels, What doesn't work during channels? Because you haven't replied to anyone, so if you reply... Yeah. Archon Stretch? Yeah, Archon Stretch doesn't work due any channeled ability, because it's an energy over time regen. And to be honest, it's just not that great in general anyway. It works best when you're using Nourish, and I'm not using Nourish. 2 energy per second really doesn't go that far. There's still things over here. Yes, there is. Get you gone. I accidentally just threw away my combo by trying to switch the Foreman. Good thing it's the last round. And there we go. Alright. Didn't actually intend to go through the whole thing, but there we go. Using Valkyr Fulman and a little bit of Zorus. Soloed the ETA with all of the negative modifiers turned on. There we are then. So in case anyone was concerned as to the viability of Valkyr, I just got a whole ass Omniformer. Yep. It keeps on wanting to show me the Omniformers. It's acting like I've gained many. It's Omni. Just the one. Just the one.
It's no Larunda Relay. But it's home.
And I picked up a bunch of PD picks. Any of them leveling up? Nope. Alright then. Lovely jubbly. I think that is enough to show what Valkyr is capable of at the moment. That's not even an optimized build. That is just the build that I had there. It's just a build. But I think it's about time that we do ourselves a platinum giveaway. Exclamation mark ticket in the chat if you haven't already grabbed one for a chance to win that 75 plat. We'll be doing the draw in just a moment. I noticed some ads have just kicked in, so we'll stretch this out long enough to make sure everyone knows what's going on. Unfortunate timing on that, but that's the way things are. How many Omnis do I have left now? Let's see. Omniformers. Omni. I have 72 Omniformer left. Down to 72 now. Which is still plenty, let's be real. That's still absolutely plenty. But yes, we have indeed got the Platinum giveaway running today. It is open to everyone, doesn't matter if you're on PC, Switch, Xbox, mobile, or PlayStation. Doesn't matter if you are a first-time viewer, if you've been here for years. Everyone is welcome to join in, as long as you can type in the chat there, !ticket, and if you are the winner, you'll have 24 hours to respond to the Twitch GM that I send you. See the clause one more time? Sure. Again, this is not... Just gonna... I don't have room for that. Test, do not copy. If you copy this, on your head be it. It's not a optimized build, it's not a finished build. You can see there is that extra slot there that's open. So if you want to see it and copy it, that's up to you. Yes, it did just finish an ETA. No guarantees it's a finished, right, helpful, good build. Hell, it's mostly corrosive. So yeah. Did I build any of these Omniformers? Not a single one of them. I've earned a couple, and I've been gifted the vast majority of them. Yeah. Alright, give you all one last moment to grab those tickets. One last moment on that. And that should be good enough then. If you haven't grabbed a ticket already, you clearly didn't want one, so let's close those entries right there. Someone got in right at the last second as well, blimey. You really did leave that to the end, didn't you? Anyway, you're in, so congrats on that, Heartless. All together, we've got our tickets. Let's see who the winner is today. For the Platinum giveaway, it can only be one of you, and it is... Porfin. Porfin, congratulations, you are the winner of the Platinum giveaway today. I'll be contacting you shortly after the end of the stream, get a hold of your Warframe username, your platform, and if you have cross-save turned on or not, we'll get that sent on over to you. All the other details will be in that Twitch DM. I know it's not quite as flashy as the old giveaway interface, the one that I've, the giveaway handler that I've created, but it is how it is. Yeah, I know, it is underwhelming compared to using the actual full program, but the ticket system runs on an entirely different approach. Question, why the LGBT tags? Good question. It is to state that, very simply, this is a welcome environment for those who fly themselves under that flag, myself included. Considering there are enough hostile spaces out there, that is to say this is not one of them. And to say we are hostile to those who oppose that. Very simple. Yeah, that's all the tag stands for. Alright then, I think it's about time we raid on out of here to another part of the Warframe community. Let's see where we can on out to today. Let's pop ourselves into a bit of an intermission screen. %80 of Discord regulars? Yeah, I wouldn't say it's 80% of Discord regulars, but we do seem to be a little bit overrepresented in that area, yeah. Where do I fly? I mean, I've flown to Canada, I've flown to... I know that's not what you're asking. Yeah, definitely in the G. Definitely on the G of that alphabet. Let's see, who is live? I imagine there's going to be more in the Warframe category than usual. That's a guess, we'll see. Who is live in Warframe today? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I have no idea who that person is. Fair enough. We are definitely skipping over that one. So we got Dizzy, we got Gaz, we have got then a hell of a lot of VTubes, as has become the way. I'm just going to quickly glance at this name I don't recognize up the top. Yeah, one moment. Just going to have a ganders. Alright, they're not new to the game. So in the labs. Let's go find out what's up with them. I don't know who this stream is, but a lot of people seem to like what's going on. Let's join in and find out. Alright. Right. Oh, no. It's a follow-only chat. Okay. We're going to find out anyway, but it is a follow-only chat, so do be aware of that. You won't be able to immediately engage with the streamer that we're heading on over to without following them. You can unfollow them later. Just be advised on that. We are heading over to a stream with follower only. But that's all from me today for now. Thank you very much for joining in, and I will see you in the next one on Wednesday. Bye-bye.